Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to our Foxhole Fridays. I am Trooper SJP, and I'm so happy to have each and every one of you here with us today. Normally, we're currently in season 6 of The Gamblers. We had our premiere yesterday, but our players we have a bunch of players who are not around this Friday, so I'm going to be doing a one-shot, a going solo one-shot of a Call of Cthulhu adventure called The Dog Walker, made by the HPLovecraft Historical Society, which is this very, very cool company that makes props and for existing Call of Cthulhu adventures, and also audio dramas, and they have hello, everybody who's here, by the way. Hey, Artie. I wanted to say they also have, like, if you are interested in creating props for your own campaigns, they have got a collection of fonts. So, especially if you're looking for like 20s and 30s stuff, they have a collection of fonts that you can use to make newspapers. They have like a prop kit with things like telegrams, things like that. So, they're very, very cool. I like them, and I've got the Mask of Nyarlathotep gamer prop set, which I cannot show you right now, but it's over there. It's this massive cool thing with newspapers, and they do a really great job. And they came out with this new prop, which is a wallet. And the wallet has all of this stuff in it. And you can use it, however you want. You can use it for your character or for an adventure. But they also created an adventure that goes along with this prop called the Dog Walker. And they have this both for a group and a solo adventure, and I'll be playing it as the solo adventure. So that is what we are doing today, but I'm supposed to do the other stuff first, right? Yes. Hi. Hello. Thank you for being here. Doing this, I do because I hang out with you all. If you would like to support the channel, you can let people know, retweet or skeet that we are live. You can tell your friends, they can come and watch it. Having people here is what makes it all work out. If you like, you can give tips and bits, and if you do, I will read out your messages at the end. We also have a Patreon, and that Patreon is at Academic Foxhole. And you can become a Patreon. People who are Patreons, they help support the show. You can, you do your tiers as you wish. I think $3 is the recommended minimum amount because of fees, but do you? There's also a special sponsor tier, which is $200, which will pay for 4 players for one show for 1 week, and that is limited to 4 people. And if you are one of our sponsors, you get a special shout out, you get a special place in the credits, and you will get a radio ad made by me that will play in our break once a month. And we have one sponsor, and that is Will and TW, who has been supporting us for the beginning and forever, and is just amazing, and also takes notes and is just great. We also have a merch store. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for one of our Academic Foxhole mugs over break. So when the time comes, hit enter, ! Enter, I think it is. It'll tell you. And then you'll be entered for a Foxhole mug. It's very nice. And is that everything I wanted to say? Is that all the stuff? I'm Trooper SJP, and I'm going to do it. Okay, I think we are ready to go. So, oh, you know what I didn't do? I know one thing that I wanted to do, but I didn't do it that I'll do right now. It'll be fine. You win the mug. Oh, it came in yesterday. Oh, lovely. I hope you love the mug. I just got a message that was Sithil that the first half of the new merch is on its way to me, so I'll be able to show you all very, very soon. I'm very excited. So one of the things that I really like to do, let me just show you. It's a thing that I like, and let's see if I can get this going. Portrait versus landscape. Okay, so we have. Let me just get the right window, and then we should be able to see it. This should be it. Whoop. Hello. How are you? Hi. So right here. You can't see me because it is not, let's, you know what we can do? Hold on. mm, mm, mm. Too much. Enough. Let me move this so that you can see what we are looking at just a little bit. And then let me make this less big. Hi, Docs. How are you doing? Let's, how are you? Let's, where are we going to put you? We're going to put you, let's put you over here for the moment. Where did you go? There we go. Yeah, let's put you here for the moment. It's going to cover up things a little bit. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. I think we can probably make it just a little bit smaller, put it right over there. It's a little too small for full excitement, but you can see it. I won't have it up the whole time, but I want you to be able to see it when it is relevant. This is the adventure, The Dog Walker. It's set in 1920s Arkham, 1925. It's by the HPLovecraft Historical Society, and the protagonist is a 12-year-old girl named Charlotte Foley, who I will be playing today. And this is a there are a lot of different styles of solo adventures, and this is the kind that you get in Call of Cthulhu quite a lot, where it's a fully well-written adventure that you have to make your way through. And we are going to see what we do. Now, before I go further, I just wanted to share with you that there are these one, I am unspoiled for this adventure. I do not know what will happen, but it is a horror adventure. It is Call of Cthulhu, and the protagonist is a 12-year-old girl who walks dogs. So I imagine that both dogs and 12-year-old girls will be put in peril throughout this adventure. That said, I did a quick scan through the adventure to see if there were any maps that I needed, and there didn't seem to be, so we will see. We will see what happens. So, before I go further, prop design, very lovely, right? Introduction, character sheet. They tell you about the skill checks. They tell you about pushing your luck, which you can do, and that they say you probably should. They talk about the props. Now, one of the things they said is, it says, in order to preserve some of the story's surprises, it would be better for you not to see any of the props before you begin to play. You can use these digital versions, which I'm not doing. I've set up a special thing for you all where we'll be using physical props. I thought we would enjoy this. So if you're like us and you prefer to play with real physical props, ask a friend to customize certain items for you and load them in the wallet according to the instructions on the next page. I actually got a friend, Talia, who is one of the creators of Clockwork Dominion. I said, could we meet? And could you do this thing for me? And she did. So she has prepped the wallet for me. So I don't know all what is inside, but it is ready. Now, this is all the instructions for the customizing, which, you know. Oh, wait, no. Here, I'll show you this one. There you go. But we don't know anything about that. We don't know what happens. And we're going to start with I have my 1920s little hat. And we're going to start. This is our beginning, but I suppose, do you want to see something exciting and cool? Because I thought you might want to see something exciting and cool that I have prepped for you all, because, you know, I do care. So, for you all, I thought I would show you this. Something that I have set up for us all. And I don't think we need this for the moment. There. I wish I had slightly better light, but... And did this move? It moved while we were away. Here, we want it to... pardon it, it moved. Oh! There we go. It should have... I'm sorry, I did not test it with the lights. That's okay. But here it is. Here is our wallet. And here's my notebook. But here is our wallet. And since we are going to start, we should take out the wallet from Gelson's department store. This is all the stuff that's not used. Don't know what's there and what's not there, but here is our wallet. Don't look inside because we haven't found it yet in game, but the wallet is here. And when we get to the point where we need to go and look at props, then we will come back to this screen and find out what is inside it, because I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what's in here and what the clues are. Also, I'm so sad about the fact that it's a little dark. That's okay. We will resolve that, or we'll just survive it in our own way. And so, let's begin, shall we? Yeah, Max Ryder used to use these. I love those. I think they're so convenient. So, you know what I'm thinking about? I bet I could... I wonder if I could move that to get better lighting on that without losing lighting on me. So, just so you know what we're doing this right here. Your name is Charlotte Foley. You're 12 years old, and you earn some extra money by walking a few neighborhood dogs. Now, before we go any further, I should note that we do have a character sheet, and the character sheet has things on it, and I thought I'd review with you some of the things on our character sheet. A description of Charlotte. Charlotte is a master of social skills, loves to talk and talk and talk. She's a do-gooder, ready and able to insert herself into other people's problems. Her ideology and beliefs are: she is a Sherlock Holmes buff and has come to think of Sherlock as the ideal human. Police are bumbling fools. What's called for is raw intellect and the ability to talk your way out of difficulties. And significant people. Cousin Shelby, who lives in Newport, Rhode Island. Mom and dad have a contentious marriage. Awkward. Meaningful locations. She likes the Christchurch Cemetery in Arkham. And her traits: she's a relentless do-gooder, happy to stick her nose into other people's business. She's also a charming and persuasive young lady. Aww. And her phobias and manias: she has a recurring nightmare where she wakes up with snakes in her hair. She calls these pillow snakes, and they deeply unnerve her, which seems bad. Encounters with strange entities? Only in dreams. So that's her backstory stuff. In terms of skills, she's pretty good at charm. She's a decent credit rating. I mean, when we say pretty good, she has nothing. Her highest skill is a 53, and that is spot hidden, which in Call of Cthulhu is always a mixed bag. But she's also got a 50 in credit rating. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Her best skill is fast talk at 55. So she's got a 55 at fast talk, 53 spot hidden, a 51 stealth, 50% credit rating, a 40% charm, 35% persuade, 34% language use. She knows a little Spanish, very, very little Spanish. She's only 12 years old. And that, her brawl, by the way, is 15. So probably not. Probably we're not going to be running around doing a lot of fighting as Charlotte. But that is what we know about Charlotte from her character sheet. And I guess we should begin. Although, before we do, you know what I would like to do? I would like to pull up the Call of Cthulhu PDF, just in case we have to look stuff up, because I always like to have my rules out and about whenever we are playing something, because, it just makes things perhaps easier when we want to just double check something. Okay. You are Charlotte Foley. That's me. You're 12 years old, and you earn some extra money by walking a few neighborhood dogs. Really, though, you'd love to quit walking and dog walking and become a consulting detective like Sherlock Holmes. Since you discovered the works of Arthur Conan Doyle 6 months ago, you've read all the stories and you've been craving the opportunity to find a worthwhile case and prove that you've got what it takes, to be like the great Holmes. In spite of your successes with some minor cases around the house, notably the case of the fractured firkin and the smudged boot print, my mother naturally fails to appreciate that this is not just a phase or a whim. I'm serious. Today, it's a little after 9 a.m. Saturday morning, October 6th, 1925. I'm walking a nice old basset hound named Bigby for a neighbor lady, Mrs. Maplewood. As I often do, I'm headed across the grounds of the Christchurch Cemetery, out the back gate, and into the woods along Silver Brook. Dogs like it back there, as there's lots to sniff and explore. Today, when I reach the far side of Silver Brook, I see a man, which is unusual, as I normally don't see anyone here. He looks middle-aged, wearing glasses and a suit, kind of like one of those professors at the university. Well, but his body starts twitching strangely, like he's having some kind of a fit. Let's do... That's creepy. Let's do that. Yeah. Bigby whines in fear and runs farther into the woods. I ask the man if he's okay, but his seizure just keeps going. And he gasps out, "Help me! No police! No doctor! Must go home! He needs the key." So, I have 4 choices. Now, I'm going to let you know when I get to be very... What's the word? When I really don't know what to do, I'm just going to probably make a poll, because that's going to be how we get through some of these very difficult choices. But we can either approach the man, look for the cemetery caretaker, go after a Bigby, or look for a policeman. So we're not going to go after a policeman because we don't believe in the police. We could go after a Bigby, but I'm a do-gooder not to stick my nose in people's business. But we also... I'm 12. Have I been told to be careful of strangers? I think, how smart is Charlotte is a good question, asks Max Ryder. Charlotte has an intelligence of 75. She is quite smart. So I think she should probably go and get the cemetery caretaker. That's what I think. So. Golly, the man's in trouble. I should get the cemetery caretaker. The closest building where I might find someone is the caretaker's cottage in Christchurch Cemetery. The caretaker, Mr. Redward, is unfriendly and sometimes yells at me when I cut through the cemetery to walk dogs on the other side of the brook. I knock at the door of his cottage, and he answers it looking annoyed. "I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Redwood, but I was in the woods walking Bigby, and I saw this man, and he looked like he was having some kind of fit, and he needed help, and he asked me to get it, and I ran here as fast as I could." I must make a charm or a fast talk roll. Okay, my fast talk is better than charm, and I am being a little deceptive in that he didn't actually ask me to go get help. He asked me for help. So let's do that fast talk. Why don't we? Oh, that's a failure. And I have a lot of luck, but I do not have enough luck to get past that. Okay, so we are not successful. Mr. Redwood is unconvinced that I'm trying to pull some kind of prank on him and remains utterly unmoved by my social skills. I decide rather than waste any more time here to go back and see if the man has woken up. I return to where I last saw the man in the woods. I run back across the cemetery grounds, through the gate, and then over the bridge to the far side of the brook. When I get to where I last saw the man, there's no sign of him. There's no sign of Bigby either. This doesn't make sense. Something's wrong here. I decide it's best to round up Bigby. I follow his barks for a few minutes, going a little farther into the woods. Finally, I'm able to catch up with him. He seems quite scared, but I'm able to calm him down and get his leash back on him. I don't need the scary music because clearly everything is fine, so, there we go. I walk him back through the woods to where the man was, but there's no sign of him. Bigby tugs on his leash and starts barking. I can either follow Bigby where he wants to go or pull Bigby towards the path home. And obviously, we're going to follow Bigby where he wants to go because that's where there's a mystery. Bigby runs up and sniffs around the area. He lets out a couple of vigorous barks and noses around the leaves. He looks back at me and lets out another loud bark as if to say, "Hey, you with opposable thumbs, come and take a look at this." As I brush aside the leaves, I see a pair of wide-rimmed spectacles. They look very much like the one the man who had the fit was wearing. Down in the leaves, I see something. I brush the leaves off and I see it's a man's leather wallet. It doesn't seem... It doesn't seem particularly dusty or dirty, so I deduce it must have fallen out of the man's coat pocket. I pick it up and I take a close look at it. What would the great Holmes do? Go ahead and I'm going to investigate the real physical wallet now. Take my time. There's a lot there. Okay, so we're going to, well, golly, I guess we're going to go and investigate the wallet. The wallet has many things in it, so we can feel free to look at any or all of them. So let's see what we have here. Well, let's see. If I actually tilt myself this way a little bit, I'm a little bit more in the light. There we go. Okay, so here's the wallet. There's a picture of a woman with a cat. Okay. Let's see. Oh, a license? What do we have here? Oh. State of New York, Bureau of Motor Vehicles. It's an operator's license, and it expires July 1921. Well, we've passed that. It's not valid. It's to Mr. Gilbert Trask, 68 Waterloo Street. Ooh, there we go. Whoop. Albany, New York. Oh, well, now, hold on. Whoop. There we go. Well, he was born in 1876, 5'11", Gilbert Trask. It seems like it's expired. Oh, hey, look. And also, by the way, we have things we can investigate. This is this guy. Do you see his face? Let's see. There is to investigate the driver's license. So it says here that it's a New York state driver's license in the name of Gilbert Trask. It gives his address as living in Albany, New York, and it looks like it expired more than 5 years ago. The photo on the back looks like a younger version of the man that I saw in the woods. And here, he doesn't have glasses, though. Okay. He's from New York. What's he doing here in Arkham? Well, what is this? It's kind of rumpled. This is an automobile bail bond certificate to Mr. Gilbert Trask, a member of good standing of the Hudson Valley Automobile Association, for $1,000. That's a lot of money. So the signature, it's a proof, it's a bond, you're authorized to transact business in the United States. It's a bail bond. Oh, an automobile bail bond. In the back, it's to him. Report number. Some writing on it. When the bond is instructions to certificate holder. When the bond is required in Albany, Schenectady, or Rensselaer County, New York, a member should communicate immediately with Robert A. Coleman, manager of the Hudson Valley Automobile Association, by phone. When the bond is triple A. This is like a lot of money. This is, well, what does it say about it? Well, I know that asking my mom a question about bail bonds is going to trigger an anti-detective response from her. But if there's one person I can count on to give me the skinny on about anything, it's my friend Mrs. Cole, the librarian at the Orne Library. She knows everything. With a wry smile, she earnestly does her best to answer my questions about, I should make sure I could talk to her, the librarian. And, with a wry smile, she earnestly does her best to answer my questions about automotive bail bonds. She says that as a perk for some of their customers, some insurance companies and automotive clubs issue customers automotive bail bond certificates. This means if she, as a driver of a car, is arrested and charged with a vehicular crime, she can present the certificate from the insurer that will cover the amount of the bail required by the court. It will take a driver who's in trouble and get them out of jail without having to use their own funds or seek the services of a bail bondsman. When I talk to her, she walks me through the whole thing. Oh, well, that's interesting. Does everybody have one of those? I mean, I don't know. By the way, I'm going to go and right now, I want you to know that I'm walking through town to different places to talk to different people. I just walked through town. I'm going to talk to different people so I can find out as I go through the wallet. I'm going through the wallet and I'm walking around town. So she tells me, so, this Mr. Trask has $1,000 worth of coverage from the Hudson Valley Automobile Association through their deal with the National Surety Corporation. If Mr. Trask got in trouble with the law with his car, and apparently he did, he could present the certification to the and the insurer would pay his bill, which it appears they did. So, this Mr. Trask would have avoided having to stay in jail until his trial, or having to borrow money from a bail bond company. Oh, he did? Well, how do we know? Oh, you're right. Look, it says paid. Oh, so what did he do? Well, he must have been involved in some violation of a motor vehicle law. Do you see? Right there. If you're involved in some sort of violation of some sort of... Yes, right there, right? So, violation of a motor vehicle law. Oh, well, how do I find out what he did? Well, the Hudson Valley Automobile Association might know. The Albany police would certainly know. Of course, Mr. Trask would know too. Well, thanks, Mrs. Cole. You're the best. Do you think I should just... there's so many other things in here. You know what? Let me just see what they are first, and then we can figure out where we want to investigate next. There's a Chesterfield cigarette card. That's cool. He must smoke. Chester Langfield, a classically trained actor. Langfield first gained fame for his portrayal of Sherlock Holmes. That's Sherlock Holmes. He must like Sherlock Holmes too. This is a mystery. A tragic accident during a stage sword fight deprived him of the use of his left arm, and he left the theater for a career in cinema and radio broadcasting. He made a bit as the announcer of the Forum's toothpaste Hour of Smiles with his sharp wit and surprising delivery. Well. Yeah, the smudge lines up with the line of the page. Oh, let me see. Okay, then there's this woman. It's hard to get the photo out. Oh. Oh, golly. Jeepers. This photo's in there pretty good. Got it. Hey, look. It's a photo of a lady with a cat. Do you think it's Ma, 38 Trinity Road, Albany? That must be his mom. Okay, what else is in here? We'll find it all out. This is cards, business cards. Worldwide Press Clipping Bureau. Diligent and discreet. What is that about, do you think? Okay. Rare Books and Maps. Edward Tillinghast. That's here in Arkham. Oh. Hey, this place is in Arkham too, the clipping service. Oh, okay. That's neat. Let's see, what do we have here? Anderson's Chemical Supplies. That's also in Arkham. Open to the public. Powders, liquids, acids, fertilizers, and dyes. Spirits and salts. 5. There's some stuff written in the back. And then B.F. Jones Hardware, also in Arkham. Do you think he moved here? Tools, paint, cutlery. Nothing in the back, though. Okay. Hey, look. He's got a library card for Gilbert Trask for the Miskatonic University Orne Library. Oh, neat. It's a door pass. Oh, look. He's got an address here in Arkham. He must have moved here. This says 22 Silver Brook Street, Arkham. That's not far from here. That's not far at all. Oh, that's great. We could go to his... He maybe went home. What is this? A psychiatrist. Dr. Heinrich Muhlig. Psychiatrist by appointment. Also here in Arkham. Oh, he's got an appointment on the 12th of October at 2:30 p.m. I wonder what that's about. Okay. Let's see. The Grafton Diner. Home of the Arkham Special. I know that place. That place is... it's a nice diner. Oh, nothing's in there, though. Today's date... Charlotte Foley. Today's date is October the 6th, 1925, which, you know what? Give me a second. I can fix this. Text. Date. And it is October 6th, 1925. But we don't like this font at all. So let's go with I'm using this one, and oops, no, golly. There, okay, and we'll do that, and then, oops, sorry. Oh, golly, wait, we need to make it a different color. We'll make it black, and then we'll just put it right here. Okay. There. Now we know what the date is, anytime we want to know. Okay. All right. Well, what's left in the wallet? So, we probably should go and see everything that's there. He doesn't live far away. We can find him. We could go to his house. Hey, look. It's the YMCA. He's got a... a locker rental assignment at the men's gymnasium from July the 7th. And it says it's a rental, number 314. There's a clerk's name. Okay. He's got a locker. I bet there's a mystery there. Oh, Arkham bus line. Arkham, Salem, Boston, Kingsport. Oh, it's just a bus line, public transit. That's neat. And like it's a... Oh, it's the fares. It's the bus. It's the bus thing. It tells you when you can get your buses. That's nice. He must... Oh, I bet he doesn't have his car anymore. That's why he takes the buses. Received of... This is a... These look like bank receipts, but there's nothing on them. And this here, Pond with Diamond Credit Agency. On 8/20/25, Gilbert Trask of Arkham for the sum of $5. A gold pocket watch engraved with strange symbols. What do you think that's about? He pawned a pocket watch with strange symbols? It's a loan. Well, that's for 60 days. August, September, October. 60 days is in a couple of weeks is when it goes. Okay. Well, that seems neat. Okay. Well, what else is in here? Nothing there or there, but we still got stuff here. Well, let's see. By the way, the quality of this wallet is excellent. Well, oh, hey, look, there's stuff in this pocket. What do you think this is? LDR. Oh, left 10, right 24, left 72. I bet that's the combination for the locker. Hey, neat. That means we can get into his locker and see what's there. This is a real mystery, just like Sherlock Holmes would do. Okay. Witness thou. The bearer hereof is admitted to the Eye of Amara Society. What's that? And is hereby entitled to access to its lodge, hall, library, and secret conclaves by the order of the exalted master of the Eye. What do you think that is? Neat. A secret society. That's fun. I bet they have cool, neat things that go on in there. I want to go to a secret society. What's this? A stub. Walter's Optics Flash. Oh, this is for photographs. He must have taken some photographs. Oh, hey, I just realized I know his address. I probably shouldn't be going through his wallet, right? I should probably just put all this stuff back in and take it to his house. But I mean, I just wanted to see. I can put it all back. Hey, look, it's a fortune cookie. Some forgotten corners of the world are best left untouched. Well, I don't know about that. That's silly. Who believes in fortune cookies? I'm sure it's fine. Nothing bad could happen. Well, let's see. Nothing there. Well, we just have this big pocket left. Ugh. Oh, there's something else. Okay. Uptown Laundry. Oh, it's a laundry ticket. 3 shirts, 1 trousers, pressed. Oh, he hasn't picked up his laundry. Hey, look, money! $1 from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. Neat. In Yog we trust. National currency. Huh. Okay. And then in Yog, oh, this is the Federal Reserve Bank Boston, $5. That's $6. That's a lot of money. In Yog we trust. Oh, golly. Okay. What's this? A remitter's receipt. First Arkham Bank, $5. Okay. It says here, Lucky Clover Cartage Company. Arkham, remitter, Mr. Trask, re il specchio di Melfi. What do you think that's Italian? Right? And then there's this Arkham First Bank. It's a check. But it's not filled out. Oh, look. A pocket guide to Arkham, Massachusetts for the convenience of visitors, showing the neighborhoods and trolley lines. Oh, it's a welcome to Arkham. That's nice. This is, hey, it's our home. Look, this is where I live. There's the Miskatonic River. There's the old graveyard, Independence Square. Oh, gee. First Baptist Church is right there. Well, there are a lot of churches here in Arkham. I'm going to look at this in a moment. And then there's the red herring, a box of matches. And, oh, look, there are matches in here. Well, that's neat. I could set a fire if I wanted to. Not that I want to, because I don't want to. But if I did want to, I could set a fire. Because I've been told that in Call of Cthulhu adventures, investigators often just set things on fire. But there's a secret. There's a zipper thing in here. And what's inside the zipper? Hey! It's your coin purse part, but there's stuff in here. Oh. Hey, look! This is the Arkham Transit Company. It's a bus token. And here is Providence. Oh, golly. It's a gold $20 coin, everybody. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Oh, pardon me. And this here is anything we haul it. Clover Cartage Company. Oh, I saw the Lucky Clover Cartage Company. He had a receipt for them. And here's a key. I don't know. This says Yale Junior, made in the USA. It's a little rusty. Number 2. Golly. Oh, this is from Arkham Leather. It's a nice wallet. You know, I probably should just take it back to him, huh? I mean, it's his wallet. He probably just went home, right? That's what you think. I mean, I sort of think so too. He probably just went home. Speaking of which, I should probably just add this here, so we just always know the date. Okay. Whoop. There it is. Oh, sorry. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to put the date just down here so that we always know, just in case we're curious. You know, just, okay. There. There we go. Okay. So, we've got a man's wallet and we went through it, but that's because there's a mystery. Maybe he's not okay and we just needed to find out, you know? Well, I guess we should just take it to his house, right? We can put everything back inside the wallet, and then we can just take it to his home, and then we could ask him what happened with the car accident. That seems like a good idea, don't you think? I think. Well, let's see. I have an idea that we could think about it. So just, we should just look a little bit. I did a thing for you all, and it's, well, I think I can do it just like this. Oh, there we go. So, this here is the map that we found. The guide, the quality is not, it could be better quality, but you know what we could maybe do? We might be able to make the map a little smaller so that it looks a little bit better, and then zoom in a little bit more. That's my guess. Let's do that. Then it'll be a little sharper. Just, I hope at least. And let's zoom in. Okay. Oop, wrong one. There we go. Oop. Oh, gee whiz. This way you can see it too. Oh, golly, that's not exciting. Here, we'll just zoom in all like this. So, gee whiz. I'm going to look at my one where the quality is a little bit better, and then I'll just show you with the little marker thing. Okay, we're looking to see where we are. So over here, over here is Independence Square, and I'm looking for, there's businesses. We can find businesses here, which is nice, but I'm looking for the Christchurch Cemetery. Well, let me see. There's so many churches here in Arkham. Like, why are there so many churches here? And none of them are my favorite ones. Let's see. That's a school, graveyard, Hangman's Hill, Miskatonic University, Old Arkham Graveyard. Oh, wait, I know. Look, right down here is Silver Creek. And so here is the Christchurch Cemetery. This is where we are. So we went out the back, and so we're somewhere around here. And he lives on Silverbrook Drive, which is right over here. We're so close to his house. We should probably just take the wallet back to his home, right? I mean, that's probably what a person would do, I guess. Let's see. If we look at the contents, the things we can investigate, it says that we can investigate, we can investigate the chemical supplies, we can investigate the token from the Lucky Clover Cartage Company, or the receipt from the Arkham First Bank, the library card, automobile bail bond, the lady with the cat, the Diamond Credit Agency, Dr. Mulig's office, the Iva Mar Society, the driver's license, Gilbert Trask's address. We can go to the diner or the rare books, or take the claim check to the Uptown Laundry or the Jones Hardware Store, or to talk to somebody at the Worldwide Press Clipping Bureau, or Walters Optics and Flash, or the YMCA. So we can also investigate this a second time, but because I feel like we need to come back to this place quite a lot, let me just write down what page this is at in the reporter's notebook. I don't have a lot of pages left. I've gone through lists. I've made notes all over the place. Here we go. Okay, this is page 70. page. Okay, so I guess we just put everything back in the wallet and just take it back to his house. So I put everything back in the wallet, and then we're going to go to his address. So his house is located on Silver Brook Street, just west of the Christ Church Cemetery, which is just such a short walk, so we should just go over there. And it's a pretty ordinary looking one-story house, and a small porch faces the street, and the curtains are drawn. So I have to make a spot hidden roll right now, as it turns out, and I'm sure that will be fine, right? I mean, that sounds really easy and nothing. Okay, spot hidden. Success! I made a success. Ooh, in Call of Cthulhu, for those of you who have never played Call of Cthulhu, in case you haven't, it's a system where it's a percentile system. So Charlotte, that's me, I have a 53% chance of being successful. And I want to roll under that number. And if I'm successful, I get to make a mark. So I could show you right here, right? So I get to make a mark right there on spot hidden to say that I successfully used it in the game today. Because at the end of the game, assuming I'm not dead, well, then you get to roll, and that's how you make your skills better. It's like your skills are better for the things that you use. Anyway, I'm not stalling because I'm afraid of what it is I'm going to see in the spot hidden roll. So I'm going to just go there right now. I notice that there's a Model T parked across the street from the house, and there's a man sitting behind the wheel. He looks like some kind of, like a tough guy. And it seems like he might be keeping an eye on the house. Well, that seems... Well, he's some kind of tough guy, like a gangster, like in the movies, and he's watching the house, then maybe I don't want to go and... Well... The man said he didn't want any policemen. By the way, my choices are to talk to the man, to ignore the man and pursue another lead, or to look for a policeman, or if I haven't been in the house and I want to go to the front door. So those are all things I could do, but... The man said no policeman, and he also said that he had to give the guy the key, or he the key. The first gangster movie is Underworld, 1927. Maybe like a gangster story, because I read books. Maybe a gangster story, like a pulp novel. Pulps, yeah. Well, gee whiz. If he's watching and he's a tough guy, it's probably a bad idea to go and let him know that I'm here. So I feel like maybe we should go to a different place right now. Not to the police just yet, but let's go to a different lead. So we got his wallet. We can't get into his house. Well, let's see. Well, we could... Yeah, like in the detective stories. And I definitely read all the detective stories. Well, why don't we investigate the lady with the cat? That's his mom. Maybe she'll know something. So, I'm going to ask my trusted ally, Mrs. Cole, at the Miskatonic Orne Library. Well, I could also maybe show her the library card as well. I should probably do that too. Anyway, why, Charlotte, it seems like it's been forever since... No time for sarcasm, Mrs. Cole. I'm trying to track down a clue. All right, what have you got? I've got... I've got a photo of this lady. See, here in the back? I think her name is Mrs. Trask, and she may live in Albany, New York. New York? Well, let's see. We have a telephone directory for Albany here in the library. You do? Smashing! Let's give it a look. It contains entries for Gilbert Trask, an Etheline Trask, and an Oscar Trask. We should call... Wait, I was just thinking, if, well, I could just, okay, I'm going to call his mom, because Eileen's a mom's name, so I'm going to call his mom. Mrs. Cole says she's not supposed to use the telephone for long distance calls, but she connects me to the operator anyway. Operator? Yes, I say, using my best grown-up voice. May I have Pronghorn 2207 in Albany, New York? One moment, please. The phone rings 3 times, and then the line is picked up. I hear the frail voice of an elderly woman. Hello? Hello? Is this Mrs. Trask? Yes, this is Etheline. Who is this? I'm calling about Gilbert. Gilbert Trask? Oh, you know Gil? Her voice brightens. Yes, I've been trying to get in touch with him. Have you talked to him recently? Oh. A pall of sorrow comes over her voice. No, I haven't talked to him for years. He left right after his accident in 1920. He never calls, and he never writes anymore. Oh, do you know what happened to him? Some kind of automobile accident. He was injured. I'm so sorry. Who exactly are you? My mind draws a blank, and I panic, and I hang up the phone on this sad old woman. Oh. Well, you know what? I'll call Gilbert. I imagine he won't be there, but I'll call. And Mrs. Cole says she's not supposed to use the phone for long-distance calls, but anyway, it's okay. She'd kiss me to the operator. Operator? Yes, may I have Tremont 3186 in Albany, New York? I hear the operator thumbing through some kind of directory, and then she comes back on the line. I'm sorry, ma'am. That number has been disconnected. Huh. Well, I guess I could just try Oscar. I don't know who that is, but I could call. Sure. Operator? Yes. May I have Cactus 7088 in Albany, New York? The telephone rings twice, and then like this gruff-sounding man answers it. Yeah? Who's this? Hello. I'm looking for Gilbert Trask. No. This is Oscar Trask. Well, yes, but do you know Gilbert Trask? I said this is Oscar Trask. There's no Gilbert here. Well, yes, but do you know him? Look, kid, you got the wrong number. Don't call here again. Huh. And then the line goes dead. Golly. Voltiel asks, was the common greeting on phones at this point in history saying the address or have TV shows duped me? But that's not the address. That's the phone number. So phone numbers were much shorter. It was usually like 4 numbers, but then you'd have like the area code and the area code was they used to give it like a place name, but I think that was just for the letter codes. So you would say, like, I think that if you would say like, Chesterfield 7189, Chesterfield is like the area exchange connector. So yeah, Transylvania 65000 was not in Transylvania, but I think that like, Transylvania is probably TRA. It's basically it's like the area code. So you would, so it's that's the phone number, except that at this point in time, you can't dial directly. You have to ask the telephone operator to connect you to, they use patch cords, right? They'd use the patch cords and they'd patch you in to the trunk, the big trunk, and then to the exchange. And so you'd have to go and have the operator do this for you. Well, since we're at the library anyway, we might as well ask our librarian friend about the library card, because that might be a clue. let's see. Oh, we should take notes. Well, library card. You know, there we go. Well, money. Oh, we should go to the locker. That seems fun, like a real mystery. Where's your library card? There it is. I found it. There. Library card. We should ask about it. So, it's a door pass to Miskatonic University's Orne Library. And it's made out to Gilbert Trask. His address is on the back. And I've been to the library loads of times, and I'm friends with Mrs. Cole, one of the librarians. So I'm going to go to talk to Mrs. Cole, see if she knows anything. I take the trolley to the Orne Library of the campus of the Miskatonic University. I'm going to go to college there when I grow up, by the way, if I'm not a detective first. I'll be both, maybe. Anyway, I asked my friend Mrs. Cole, a reference librarian there, about Gilbert Trask. And Gilbert Trask? No, I don't recall a patron by that name. We have a lot of borrowers, Charlotte, and there's a new crop of students every year. Well, I can show her a photo of Mr. Trask. I have one. I have a photo of him. There, no. On his driver's license. Oh. See what happens? Here. There. That's him. I'll show him a photo. I'll show Mrs. Cole a photo of Mr. Trask. Mrs. Cole says, "Oh, yes. He's been coming around for the past year or so. He keeps to himself and spent a lot of time in the classics section of the library, sometimes in the metaphysics section, too. I watched him read one day. Absolutely amazing. I've never seen anyone read faster. And some of the books he was reading were in Latin." "Really? What books were they?" "Now, Charlotte, it's essential that we protect our patrons' privacy. What kind of a world would we be living in if you couldn't check out a book with confidence that no one could go nosing into your reading history?" Well, I don't know if I... How about if I just ask her to look them up in the library files? Mrs. Cole checks a file with some information about library patrons, and she says that Mr. Trask applied for access to the rare book room several months ago. Professor Armitage, the head librarian, reviewed his application and denied it with the words, "unsuitable personage, personally invested." Professor Armitage is away at a conference in Montreal at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to write this down so that we know. Gilbert Trask. I'm going to say Latin and metaphysics, and classics, and denied rare book room access. Oh, unsuitable personage. Jeepers. What do you think that's about? Well, that seems like a lot of clues, but we're no closer to finding him. I wish I could get into his house. But you know what would be the next best thing? Going into his locker at the YMCA. Because if we do that, we might find something that would be helpful. Laundry. Let's see. These are receipts. I think we probably don't need those. These are... We could get his watch. I've got $5. I've got his... Oh, we probably shouldn't do that until we talk to him first. Let's see. Stubs. Money. Golly. And a remitter's receipt for the First Bank of Arkham, the pocket guide, the bus line. This thing, I bet we don't need that right now, though. The diner. Business cards. Sherlock Holmes. Press clipping. Could go there. The library card. YMCA. Wait, this is it. He has a locker here. So we should just go to the locker at the YMCA. Let's do that. I bet there's a good clue there. And I think this is the locker combination. So we should go there. So let's investigate the YMCA receipt. Maybe we can find something that'll help us find him. Let's see. So it looks like a receipt for a locker at the YMCA rented by Gilbert Trask last year. It has his address on it and his locker number at the YMCA. Well, let's go to the YMCA. As soon as I walk up to the YMCA, its sign reminds me that it's an athletics club for men. Getting in there will take some luck, some cunning, or guile, or maybe all three, but I'm going to be the world's best detective. So let's see. I can try sneaking to the desk as a clerk, or try sneaking in unnoticed, or I could disguise myself as a boy. If I've been here previously and done any of these things, I may not attempt the same action again. So I can only do one of these. I'm really bad at disguise. I could try to be charming, but... Well, maybe I could try sneaking. Let's try sneaking in. That seems like fun. Okay. My stealth is 51. So I failed by 7, but I have luck, which means... well, they didn't actually tell me to make a stealth roll, but they said so. I watched the window for a moment when the lobby is empty of patrons and the desk clerk slips away. Finally, I get my chance as I see him go up the stairs, and I seize my moment. Darting through the front door, across the foyer, and into the room marked locker room. And I'm going to spend the 7 luck to make that a success. Because they have said very, very plainly that one should definitely do that. So that's what I'm going to do. And I actually have a little token, and so that I can just reduce my luck by 7. Okay. Okay, golly. Well, here we go. I do it. We're going to sneak in. I make it into the locker room unnoticed. The room is damp and it reeks of chlorine, sweat, and other disturbing odors. Boys' cooties. I see steam billowing out of a room to my left. I think that would be the showers. And I hear distant splashing from the swimming pool and the squeaking of sneakers on a gymnasium floor. Golly, I've got to move fast. So I look frantically for locker 314 before someone sees me. And I've got to make a luck roll. And I just used my luck. But that's okay because, I'm going to just note that you can't spend luck on a luck roll. But here we go. Success! Who? Jeepers. I am lucky. Glad I didn't spend too much luck up till now. Moving stealthily, I creep down the row of lockers, looking for the locker number 314. At last, I see it, and it is closed with a combination padlock hanging from its latch. I work the combination from the slip that I found in the wallet. The lock opens with a satisfying clunk. Inside, I see a canvas bag and a very old-looking book. I can either quickly check out the locker contents or grab it all and scram. I'm going to grab it all and scram. This is a mystery. I hurry out of the YMCA with the book and the bag. I go down the street about a block and a half, looking behind me to make sure that no one's following me. I stop at a bus bench to look to see what I've got. I'm going to write this down. Okay, are you ready? We've got a canvas bag from the YMCA, canvas bag, and old book. I love books. I read books all the time. I read Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so let's see. The canvas bag has a zipper on it, and in opening it up, golly. Hey, everybody. There's something in this bag, and you won't believe what it is. It's filled with a whole lot of $20 gold coins. Dozens of them. Cheapers. And also, I need to just do that. Oh, no. It's worth, in 2023 money, not that I'd know about it, but a friend of mine would, $17,500. Someone's going to notice that this much money is missing. Oh, my palms start to sweat as I zip the bag closed. Oh, the book itself looks pretty old. Its title is Abodes of Disquietude by Dr. Percival P. Murmur. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to copy it exactly as it says. Abodes of Disquietude by Dr. Percival P. Murmur, like a merman. Murmur. It seems to be about insane asylums in England. Oh. Why? Insane asylums in England. Well. Hey, there's that tough-looking guy, like in the detective pulp stories, that was looking at his house. What if he robbed a bank? Well, if I can take the money home and stash it under my bed, or if I went to the YMCA because someone told me to go there, or to directly investigate another lead. Well, we're going to take the money home and we're going to hide it under my bed. We don't need our mom to know. We don't need anybody to know that we shouldn't have this with us. So, let's do that. I hurry home to my house on Saltonstall Street. Luckily, my mom is in the kitchen listening to Dark Adventure Radio Theater, which I love. She never misses an episode. I suspect that she has a crush on the show's host, Chester Langfield. And she's completely distracted whatever the program is on. Anyway, I easily sneak past her and hide the bag of money under my mattress. You know what? I can spend a couple of hours reading the book I found in the locker, or I can do more investigation. There wasn't anything but money in the bag, or maybe there was some socks. Well, let's read the book and see what's in it, because I love books. Well, the book is all about different kinds of loony bins that they have in England. One chapter has a dog-eared page. As I read it, it tells the story of a nurse named Nan who suddenly had a bout of amnesia and didn't know who she was. She was admitted to a sanatorium in England. Then she became super smart and started reading everyone's books. A couple of years later, she started building this strange machine out of all kinds of odd parts. Then she had a visitor who apparently assisted her. Suddenly, she changed back to who she used to be before the amnesia. She didn't remember anything she used to be before. She didn't remember anything that had happened since her first fit. Nan believed somebody else took over her body and she'd been stuck in theirs, but now she was back where she belonged. All of our doctors thought that she was crazy, and they made her take baths in ice water. This seems like a clue. I deduce I need a magnifying glass. Anyway, I deduce that Trask read this book. Maybe he got amnesia after the car accident. Maybe we'll remember this. So, let's pursue another lead. Well, what can we do? We have been to the library. We've gone to his house, but there's a tough guy there. You know what? We should go and find out what photographs he's been taking. That seems like it would be interesting. Let's go to the camera store. We've got hold on. Let's see. We've got a lot of stuff. That's the YMCA. I don't think we'll need that again, at least not for a while. The Orne Library, his mom, the bus line. That's that strange secret society. Well, I don't know what that's about. That's his driver's license. These are bank receipts, which I don't think we can use those right now. That's money, which, well, that's his money. We shouldn't use it because that's stealing, and stealing is wrong. These are bank things. We'll put those there. The pocket guide we don't need. I don't think we need this for the moment. We'll put that away. Oh, wait. We could put it inside the wallet. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay. We might need that later. Oh, I don't think we'll need that. Oh, he's got one of these gold coins. What if he's a bank robber? Rare books. That's interesting. Hardware. Chemical supplies. Psychiatrist. The diner. Maybe we should go to the diner. The bank. That's a receipt. Okay, we'll put receipts in one pile. And, hey, it's Sherlock Holmes. I love Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to be like him. We'll put receipts in one pile. And we'll put business cards in another pile. And the fortune cookie. So, this is for a bank. This is right here. This one is for the photography store. Let's go there. That seems like maybe we'll find neat things. Hey, do you think that maybe he had amnesia and that he knew all sorts of things? Maybe. No. This key, we don't know what the key's for at all, because this key here, well, the locker used a combination, so I don't know what this key is for yet. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, the key itself says Yale Junior. That's all it says. It says Yale Junior. And made in the USA. And it has a number 2 on it. So I guess we'll just have to see. Well, I bet we'll find something about it. So let's see. Let's go to the photography store because I feel like photographs are neat and also they're clues. So let's go there. I take the claim check to Walter's Optics and... Oh, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. To Walter's Optics and Flash. And I ask for Mr. Trask's prints. And Mr. Walters at the counter says, well, that'll be 50 cents. Geez, sir, Mr. Trask asked me to come get the pictures. He didn't say I have to pay for them. And I bat my big brown eyes at him. I'm going to make a charm roll. Because I don't want to have to pay for this. Let me see. Here we go. Oh, it's a failure, and it's a big one. I don't think I can buy my way out of that. So I'm not successful. Well, I'm not in the charity business, sweetheart. Tell him to come by and settle his account. I'll be happy to give him his photos. You know what? I can spend some money from the wallet to pay for the photos. What do I have? I have $1. I'll spend some money for the wallet to pay for the photos. And it's okay because I'm going to give it back to him. I'll give him the photos. It's like I'm just picking up the photos for him. And then it's like I'm running errands for him. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to spend some of the money. Oh yeah, I forgot. He gave me his wallet. Here. I reach in the wallet and I pull out a $1 bill. Walter counts out my change and hands me an envelope. Everybody, we have to note that we no longer have a full $1, but we do have 50 cents. 50 cents. Whoop. Okay. Remember. Okay. Go to 179. Okay. Whew. Well, 179. The snaps. Well, I can show you this, I think. There's a strange image. There we go. Also, this one here needs to be adjusted a little bit, but that's okay. I take the envelope of developed photos and hurry out of the store. Inside are the negatives and a set of prints made from a roll of film, Trask, sent to Walters for processing. At first, it seems like something must have been wrong with the camera, as the photos are all strangely like geometric angles and lights. As I look at them longer, I realize they're photos of mirrors set up at angles so as to reflect other mirrors. Whatever this machine is, it looks like it's missing a part. In two of the photos, I see strange reflections of the man who is having the seizure reflected in the mirrors. He's a fair-haired man of about 40 with wire-rimmed glasses. I pocket the photos, and I decide to investigate something else. What do you think that means? Golly. Well, I'll put this back in the wallet, I guess. Well, we've got receipts. Well, this one's for the pawn shop for the watch. And this one is at the bank from Lucky Clover Cartage Company. That's the thing in Italian. And then this is a laundry with his shirts and trousers. Well, maybe we should get his watch. That seems like running an errand. That seems like something that you could do, right? Yeah, we should get his watch back. Let's do that. That seems like a thing that a person would do that's running errands for somebody. So let's do that. So Cartage Company, First Bank, Library Card, Photo, Credit Agency. Well, that's where we're going. Let's go. So Mr. Wade, who works at the counter, he greets me brusquely. We don't sell stuff here for kids. Well, I show him the receipt, though, and then his tone softens somewhat. Yeah, a guy pawned it a few months back. Didn't really seem like he had any plans to come back for it, and it didn't really seem like he was too desperate for cash. What, was he your dad? I'm going to use the money in the wallet to get the watch back because we have $5, so might as well, right? I'm going to use the money from the wallet to buy the watch. Yeah, I'll buy it. Easy for you to say, big spender, says Wade. Price is 5 greenbacks. I whip out Trask's $5 bill and I hand it to Mr. Wade. No problem. Sheesh, where'd you get that kind of money? Never mind. I don't want to know. Yeah, okay, then it's yours. Here, let me get you a bag. He seems a little unnerved by the transaction. As I leave the shop, I see he picks up a telephone to place a call. Oh. Once I'm outside of the store, I sit down and take a close look at the 12 odd symbols in the watch face. I'd never seen anything quite like them. Now, this is where you know that if you wanted to, you could buy this watch actually from the HPLHS, but I didn't. But it would be neat if I had, because then I could look at this watch, which has, weird symbols on it instead of regular numbers. That's pretty neat, huh? I think so. Hey, who do you think he's calling? You don't think he's calling any of those tough guys, do you? Because that would be bad, I think. Well, anyway, I think we should research those symbols at the Orne Library, right? Oh, golly. Okay. Well, as I walk up to Mrs. Cole's desk in the library, she glances up at me. Charlotte, that determined look in your eye usually means you're here on a quest. I am, Mrs. Cole. I got this watch, and it has these strange symbols on it, and I need to know what they mean. Here, look. I hand her the watch. Where did this come from? The Diamond Credit Agency? You went to a pawn shop? Really now, Charlotte, how much did you spend on this? I'd rather not say, but I think the symbols are the clue. Any ideas what they are? I can't say that I recognize them. Where do you think we should look? Mrs. Cole has this thing about answering questions with questions. Everything's a teachable moment to her. Well, we should check archaeology, in case maybe they're ancient. Maybe linguistics, in case they're from some other language. Or maybe they're a code or cipher. We could look at cryptography. That's a lot of ground to cover, Charlotte. Why don't we split up? Mrs. Cole heads to linguistics, and I head to archaeology. So, I have to make a library use roll, and it says spend some luck if you want to improve your roll. Thanks for the hint. I'm going to roll library use. My library use is only 34 because I'm 12. Well, let's see. I fail by a whole lot, and I am not going to be able to spend a lot of money on that, a lot of luck on that. I fail, so I have to go to page 210, and that's the next page. A couple of hours toiling through the stacks leaves both you, me, and Mrs. Cole without any fruitful leads on the strange symbols in the watch. I now know they're not related to chemistry, alchemy, astronomy, mathematics, or any of the number of hieroglyphic languages. I thank Mrs. Cole for her gracious assistance, and I turn my attention to another lead. We're always allowed to go back once we get new information, but we don't have anything just yet. That watch is a wind-up watch, and that's really neat, and maybe I want it. Well, that lead was a bust, at least for now. You know what we could do? You know what? We could go to the laundry. We're doing errands for him anyway, so might as well. Let's go to the laundry, huh? That seems okay. That seems like it's something we can do. I go to the Uptown Laundry on Gedney Street. Miss Brewery at the counter eyes me with suspicion. She always thinks I'm suspicious. My neighbor, Mr. Trask, asked me to come get his laundry, and here's the ticket. She turns around and retrieves an order from the rack. 3 laundered shirts and 1 pair of trousers. I put this back in the wallet. How long has Mr. Trask been coming here? Oh, I suppose it's about a year now. He always comes alone. Why'd he send you? Is he sick? No, I don't think so. Thanks, bye. I leave the door and head out onto the sidewalk, uncertain what to do with Mr. Trask's clean laundry. Mrs. Breary rushes out onto the street. Girl, wait. You give this to Mr. Trask. He left his pen in his trouser pocket. And with that, she hands me a metal rod about 9 centimeters long. Oh, okay. Thanks. Wait a minute. A metal rod, 9 centimeters long. Hey, do you think this is the missing piece for the machine? I head down the sidewalk. The thing she handed me does not seem to actually be a pen, though. There's no point, no cap, and no markings of any kind. It seems to be a short rod made out of a silvery metal. If I can take the rod to the Orton Library to see what Mrs. Cole thinks about it, or if I've met Mr. Caldwell, which I haven't, I could ask him about it. Well, let's go to the Orton Library because Mrs. Cole, she's my investigative buddy. So I seek out the closest thing I have to a Dr. Watson. Mrs. Cole at the Orton Library. She has a mountain of books next to her on the desk. Mrs. Cole, I found something. Let me guess. A clue? Maybe. I'm sorry, Charlotte. I'm busy here. Okay, but I'm just trying to figure out what the heck this is. I can't help you now, Charlotte. See what you can find out on your own. Okay, well, I'm going to have to make a library use roll. Let's see if I'm... Hey, I succeeded, and I am going to check library use. I also succeeded on stealth, and I don't think I succeeded on anything else, though. But I succeeded. Well, let's find out. We can learn anything at all. Well, I find a campus directory with the number for the chemistry lab. The graduated student who answers the phone seems amused by my request to solve the mystery and invites me to bring the rod up to the chemistry lab. His name is Adam Caldwell. I'm going to write that down. Adam Caldwell at the chemistry lab. Well, that seems fun. Adam Caldwell. Caldwell Chemistry. I'm going to meet a real graduate student. I'm going to be a graduate student one day. Let's see. Okay. Mr. Caldwell, he's super old. He's probably in his 20s. Greets me, and he shows interest in seeing the specimen that I have for him. He taps it on a table and examines its weight. What do you think? Well, it seems heavy and hard. Where did you get this? I hesitate for an instant. The lady at the laundry gave it to me. She said she found it, and she thought it was a pen. Well, it's no pen. He also wears glasses. Well, it's no pen. He goes to work conducting a variety of tests, examining the sample's hardness and looking at it under a microscope. He spends more than an hour studying it. Well, what do you think it is, Mr. Caldwell? Well, at first I thought it was platinum, but it's too hard for that. Maybe it's osmium or maybe iridium. It doesn't make much sense, though. Why not? Well, for starters, they're both very rare. They're also both very hard. Making a perfect cylinder like this out of those metals would be, well, very difficult. And if you did, it's not the kind of thing you'd leave in your trouser pocket. Interesting. Miss Foley, I suspect you're not telling the full story here. Well, I wish I knew more. I'll get to the bottom of it, Mr. Caldwell. I assure you I will, because I'm one of the best detectives there is in the world. Well, would you mind if I kept this? I'd like to show it to one of my professors. I fear not, sir. I'm bound to return it to its owner. Oh, I see. Well, when you do, ask him to come by. I'd love to talk with him about it. I'll do that. Thanks a million, Mr. Caldwell. And with that, I hurry out of the lab. Well, I've got to follow another lead. Let me see. Well, gosh. We did the laundry. The only other receipt we have left, well, is this bank one. It's from the bank. We could go there. That might be hard to talk your way through it. It doesn't really seem like I'm just running errands, but Gee whiz, maybe he's hurt and maybe that'll help. I don't know. Well, let's go to the bank. Maybe. Okay. Sorry, Velpez, that I fooled you out with the book seam on the monitor. That was me. I was just being wild. Well, I guess we go to the bank, huh? Yeah, okay. So I go to the bank receipt. It's some kind of paper from the Arkham First Bank. I don't really get what it means, but it makes a reference to something called the Lucky Clover Cartage Company and Il Specchio. Il Specchio. It's got the amount and an estimated time of arrival. Oh. That was yesterday. So, I could go to the bank, or... You know what? Before I go to the bank, or the cartage company, I think I should ask my friend Mrs. Cole, because she knows everything. So, let's go talk to her, huh? At the Orne Library, I hurry across the marble lobby to the information desk. I've visited her like 18 times just today, but she's my favorite person in the world. Mrs. Cole, the librarian. Charlotte, I haven't seen you since yesterday. Her sarcasm is endearing, you know, because she's being sarcastic. And I slide the bank receipt over to her. I know, but I found this, and I'm trying to figure out what it means. Well, it's a bank remittance. It means someone paid a company called Lucky Clover Cartage Company $5.09 for something called Il Specchio. Why, She looks uncomfortable. Well, Lucky Clover is a freight company. They're involved in the moving of goods for companies. So, someone paid them for an Il Specchio. Apparently so. Let's go see what that is. What language do you think that is, Charlotte? I don't know. Latin? Maybe Greek? I think it might be Italian. Let's see. She swiftly leads me to an Italian-English dictionary. Ah, it is Italian. See? And she shows me the dictionary entry. Mirror. So, someone bought a mirror from a freight company? Maybe. Charlotte, be careful looking into Lucky Clover. There are rumors that they're connected to organized crime. What do you mean? You've heard of Al Capone. Gangsters? Wow. Be careful with this, Charlotte. Does this scenario have a ticking clock like the other solo Cthulhu game you played? Not that I know of. It hasn't told me yet of a ticking clock. Well, golly. So, gangsters, that makes sense. Why there's that tough guy in front of his house. Hey, what do you think if the pawn agent guy called the... So, this is a receipt. And he paid money for it. Well, I guess this means he must have paid for it with some kind of banknote or something. Mrs. Cole says I should be careful. Yeah. Well, golly. I think we should go to the bank, huh? That seems safer than, like, you know, gangsters. So, let's do that. I don't know if they'll talk to me, but might as well. As I walk up to the teller window, a bank teller with horn-rimmed glasses looks down at you. How can I help you, dearie? She says like she's talking to like a second grader. I'm not a second grader. I'm 12, which means I'm in 7th grade. I'm very grown up. And I slide the paper to her. What can you tell me about this? Well, It's one of our receipts, Cupcake. One of our clients asked us to make a payment to another company. See? It's a payment to Lucky... She stops speaking and her demeanor darkens. Where did you get this? I think my dad dropped it. Oh, my. You'd best give it back to him, then. Okay, but what about this word, el spicchio? I don't know what that is. I have to have other customers, miss. Good day. She seems rattled. Well, gosh. What do you think we should do, huh? Do you think... Everybody seems nervous about this Lucky Clover Cartage Company, like Al Capone himself works there. Maybe I go, huh? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should... I don't know. But here's the thing. I don't know if you remember, but there was a... Do you notice? Well, right here, there's oh, I dropped it. A coin that comes from the Lucky Cartage Company. It says Lucky Cartage Company, Arkham. And then it says, anything we haul it. If I went, I could maybe having the coins... I don't know, maybe I shouldn't go, huh? Might be a bad idea. Probably is. Well, there are other things I could look at before I go there, huh? Like, I could... Well, why don't we go to the press clipping place, huh? I like newspapers, and that's a really good place to solve mysteries. Let's go there. Yeah, let's do that. That seems like a good idea. Let's go to the clipping company. I bet there's no Al Capone there. So I go home and I use the telephone at my house to call the number on the card. Elliot Snow, Worldwide Press Clipping Bureau. How may I be of assistance? I'm going to try my best to sound like an adult. Yes. I was wondering if you could clarify the services that you provide. Well, we monitor select Boston and New York newspapers and clip articles from them on topics requested by our clients. I see. I'd like to find out what topics your client Gilbert Trask might have been monitoring. Miss, we have an unwavering commitment to discretion here. We never share client information. How old are you anyway? I'm 22. Sure you are. Good day, miss. And the line goes dead. Gee whiz. Well, that wasn't very nice of him. Well, we still have got some things. Let me check that out. You know what? I was thinking we could... You know what? He went to this rare bookstore, and I know he cares about rare books. Maybe we should go to the rare bookstore. That might be a lead, right? Let's do that. That could be important. Maybe. Let's go to the rare bookstore. As I enter the shop, I feel the cold eyes of the store owner watching me carefully. The books here are fancy and expensive. Most of them are kept in locked shelves. Pardon me, sir. I was wondering if perhaps I might be able to inquire with regards to another of your fine customers in this boutique. Ha! Oh, you were, eh? The old man croaks back. Just who might that be that you are inquiring about? Gilbert Trask. As I mention the name, Mr. Tillinghast perks up. You remember him? I'll say I do. I don't see a customer like him every day. Oh, what made him so memorable? The books he was looking for. Oh, not the kind of thing someone just wanders in off of the street looking for. Oh, do you remember the titles? I do. Two occult texts in Latin. Let me see. I'm going to write this down. The Flagellum Daemonium. That doesn't sound good, by the way, everybody. The occult books. Flagellum Daemonium. And the Antiquitatum Mecklenburgensium. Antiquitatum. I'm never going to be able to read my handwriting afterwards. Mecklenburgensium. The third was entitled Abodes of Disquietude, an examination of the sanitaria of East Anglia. Oh, I've got that book. That's the book that I have. Abodes of Disquietude. Oh. Did you sell him the books? Well, I didn't have them. I wrote to a number of colleagues. One of my associates had the book on sanitariums. He shipped it over to me. Trask bought it. Did he say why he wanted those particular books? He did. I wish to read them. That's what he said. Queer duck. Even for Arkham, and let me tell you, this town is quite queer indeed. And to cap it all off, he paid me with a $20 gold piece, if you can imagine that. Who carries that kind of money around with them? I had to go to the bank to get change. Oh. Do you know what the books were about? The one I ordered from England was about insane asylums in England. The others were books on occult in Latin, old and hard to find. Oh, I see. Well, thank you, sir, for your time. Not so fast there, young lady. What's Trask to you? Why are you nosing into his shopping habits? Well, Mr. Trask is missing, and I believe he may be in distress. I'm trying to find him. Mr. Tillinghast nods, almost as if impressed. Well, then good luck to you, young lady. By the way, $20 is basically about $400 in 2023 money, it says here. Well, we should go to the library. Mrs. Cole will definitely talk to us about this lead, right? When I ask my friend Mrs. Cole about these books, she raises an eyebrow at me. Really, Charlotte, you're an advanced reader for your age, but these seem a bit much. The library doesn't have any of these three titles. Flagellum Daemonium is a 17th century book in Latin about how to perform exorcisms. Hey, remember the woman who thought she had a body possessing her? What if Mr. Trask thinks somebody's possessing him? Exorcisms. Antiquitatum Mecklenburgensium is a late 17th century book in Latin on the existence of demons. And that's about demons. And then the Abodes of Disquietude is about sanatoria in England. Well, that's interesting. So, sorry, what do you think? That seems... Well... You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I should go to the cartage company, but I shouldn't because everybody says I shouldn't go. Which means I should. You know what? I'm not going to go because there are gangsters there. But there is a psychiatrist. We could maybe I could talk to him, Mr. Trask's psychiatrist, and he probably won't talk to me. But maybe I could pretend I could say I'm his daughter or something. Well, he's one of the only people I know who knows him. So let's call up his psychiatrist. Maybe we can learn something. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to go to his office. And, because we've got the business card. When I go to Dr. Mulig's office, I'm greeted by the receptionist, Carolyn, a young woman with a cascade of curly dark hair. She seems really nice. Excuse me, but I think I saw one of your patients in the woods. He was having some kind of an attack. I'm sorry, honey. Who are you? I'm Charlotte, but that's not important right now. I'm not allowed to talk about Dr. Mulig's patients. I'm not going to be easily stopped, though. So I counter with an argument about how protection of patient privacy, while noble in theory, can in certain situations prove an impediment to their mental well-being, or can be outright detrimental in a circumstance where immediate action. I'm going to make this fast talk roll, though, right now, and I hope that I can fast talk her into giving me some kind of information. Hard success. Yes, absolutely. I am successful. Yeah. I'm sorry, Carolyn says, but Dr. Mulig is in a session with a patient right now. He's adamant that I never interrupt a session. But do you know what's wrong with Mr. Trask? Carolyn whispers to me that she doesn't actually know what's wrong with him. He's been coming here for a few months, and the doctor seems to find him to be one of his most interesting patients. Well, what's so interesting about him? Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to see Dr. Mulig's files, but when he's in with the doctor, he does more talking than Mr. Trask does. Usually with patients, it's the other way around. And then when he leaves, lots of time the doctor's in tears. Usually it's the patient who's crying. Huh. So there's no reason you can tell me that he'd be having a fit in the woods? I can't think of anything like that. Should I tell the doctor about Mr. Trask's fit? You probably should. But it's probably best if you don't tell him much about me, because I'm an investigator. Oh, golly, that seems strange. Hey, what do you think? I've got a couple of things left that aren't connected to gangsters. I've got this hardware store card, and I've got this chemical supply place. You know, if he was making some kind of machine like that lady did in the book, then, and I also have got that weird occult society thing, and that seems to be, we should put that away. Let's go talk to the hardware store, huh? That seems good. Let's do that. I bet maybe he's making a machine. Yeah. Well, let's go to the hardware store. I go to the hardware store, and Mr. Jones is behind the counter. A sign hangs over his head reading, "Everything a man might need for his project." I ask Mr. Jones if he knows a customer named Gilbert Trask. What do I look like? A library? I'm here to help customers, not nosy kids. I have the bowl of penny candy on the counter. Well, I have money on me, so I'm going to see. First, I'm going to make a luck roll to see if I have money on me. Because maybe I do. Maybe I have a penny. We'll see. Because I haven't spent a whole lot of luck. I have a penny on me. I am successful. So I do have a penny. I'd like to buy a piece of candy. I slide my penny over to Mr. Jones, because I'm not going to take Mr. Trask's money, because this one's for me, and I'm honest. That's no more like it, he says, sliding the candy bowl over to me. Now, what can I do you for? Can you tell me about a customer named Gilbert Trask? Trask? No, it doesn't ring it. What? No, wait. I do remember him. He saw our sign there, and he said he needed something special. I asked him, what? And he said, an iridium rod 9 centimeters long. I said, a what? And he just looked at me. I said, are you joking? And he said, yes. But I don't think he was joking. He asked me to take his name down. That's why I remembered. Oh. Well, we could investigate this in iridium. So let's talk to Mrs. Cole, our friend, because she loves it when we visit the library all the time. So we definitely should just go visit her and see what she thinks. Hi, Mrs. Cole. What bizarre and improbable request do you have for me today, Charlotte? She asks me. My dear Mrs. Cole, how like Dr. Watson you are to me. I'm not sure I take that as a compliment, Charlotte. What's cooking? I need to know what iridium is. Well, what do you think it is? I don't know. It sounds like radium. Is it something like that, a chemical? Maybe. Where should we look? to find something that sounds like radium. I don't know. Is it chemistry? Well, let's have a look. And with that walk, she walks me over to the sciences section and she pulls out a large book on chemistry off the shelf. She makes me look at the index and go to the page referenced. Well, what is it? I read the entry. It's a metal in the platinum group. Really rare. They use it to make tips for fountain pens because it's so hard. Well, there you go. Question answered. If I've previously found something I think may be iridium and I want to show it to Mrs. Cole, then I can go to number 238, and I will. I pull out this out of my pocket, the metal rod that Mrs. Breary gave me. Do you think this could be iridium? What is that, Charlotte? Where did it come from? I think it's a clue. I found it in the Uptown Library, somewhat overstating my role in the discovery. Well, it is a silvery metal, she says, and then she taps on the desk. And it sounds pretty hard, but it's probably just steel, Charlotte. Let's call someone up at the lab. You think I have people in a lab somewhere waiting to analyze your clues? And you are pretty amazing, Mrs. Cole. You're adept at flattery, Charlotte. Leave it with me, and I'll ask a graduate student I know from the chemistry department about it. Thanks, Mrs. Cole, but I actually already showed it to him. I'm going to just hold on to it because I feel like I'm going to just hold on to it because I already spoke to him. So it's okay. But, you know what? I could go to the chemical supply shop. That might be a good clue. And there's this strange writing on the back, and that might mean something. Something. So let's go there. I bet that's a good clue. I take a long walk. It's a long walk to the merchant district to get to Anderson's. When I arrive, I get the brush off for Mr. Anderson. Beat it, kid. But I quietly drift to the counter and back, and I ask Mr. Bone, the store's chief chemist, if he knows a customer named Gilbert Trask. I've never heard of him, honey. I can show him a picture of Trask. Hold on. Wait, I do. I've got a picture. It's in his driver's license. Here. See? Right there. It's kind of, right there. See? It's out of focus, but did you know him? Do you know him? Maybe? Hi, Bulletproof Kate. Here's a picture of him. Does he look familiar? Oh, that guy. The chemist exclaims. Yeah, I remember him. He came in here and asked for quantum liquid ozone. Wait, that's not something you sell? Sell? That's not something anyone sells. It's not a thing. Liquid ozone? That'd be dangerous as hell. Oh, excuse my language. Dangerous as all get out. Mr. Anderson joins the two of us at the counter. What's going on here? I was just telling our young friend here about the liquid ozone guy. Him? Laughs Anderson. Yeah, he was a weird one. He rattled all sorts of kooky stuff. The Schrodinger equation, the molecular Hamiltonian. I mean, what the hey? Yeah, Mr. Anderson smirks. Yeah, I asked him if he was with the university, what company he was with. They said it was just some project he was doing on his own. Crackpot! Laughs Bode. Liquid ozone. What next? Yeah. Whoa. I feel like I've reached the end of the line of this questioning with the laughing chemists. You know what? I'll go to the Orrin Library and talk to Mrs. Cole, and I'm going to research liquid ozone. I'm going to approach my old friend Mrs. Cole at the reference desk. Hi. Charlotte, what bit of arcane learning can I assist you with today? Analyzing a new clue for another mystery? As a matter of fact, I am. I need to know everything about liquid ozone. What's that? I was hoping you could tell me. Some poking around together in some basic reference books on chemistry reveals that ozone is an organic molecule. It's a pale blue gas that is believed to be given off during lightning strikes. There are no references to it as a liquid. Mrs. Cole closes the book. So, nothing on liquid ozone here. I suppose you could try speaking to an actual chemist. I know one. I will. Mrs. Cole uses the campus directory and places a call to Adam Caldwell, who I already met, a graduate student at the chemistry lab. He invites me to come on by. As I walk into the chemistry building, I go up the stairs to the lab on the second floor. Mr. Caldwell, who's super old, he's like 25, he meets me, and he's a very polite young man, sporting a very festive bow tie, and I like bow ties, I like butterflies. And after introducing myself, again, second time, and explaining that I'm trying to solve a mystery, I explain that I'm looking into liquid ozone, and his brow furrows. Well, but that's not something you'll find in the natural world. I mean, it's theoretically possible, but it'd be incredibly dangerous. Normally, ozone's normally a gas, and so it would have to be extremely cold to liquefy, and then it would be very unstable, dangerously so. Well, well, why would somebody want it? Well, I don't think any normal person would. It's something that could exist in theory, but it'd be too dangerous to be of much use to anyone. Gee, thanks, Mr. Caldwell. You've been super helpful. Maybe I'll talk to you on my next big case? Sure. Good luck with your investigation. He says it when he waves goodbye as I head down the hall. Well, that's gone bunk. Golly, we don't have a lot of clues left, at least not safe one. Oh, I just dropped my coin. Sorry about that. It was the... Gee whiz. I just dropped the coin that goes to the cartage company run by Al Capone. Maybe. You know what? Maybe we go to the Grafton Diner. I mean, I'm kind of hungry, and... You know, I bet there are no gangsters there. Let's, maybe we do that, huh? Well, yeah, let's go to the Grafton Diner. I could get a sandwich. Maybe. Yeah. I go to the Grafton Diner up on the north side of the Miskatonic River near the train station. It's a classic old-school diner with a soda fountain and typical diner fare. And I plop down on a seat... at the counter. It isn't long before Judy, the youngest waitress, comes up to take your order. What can I get you, hon? I can't eat, Judy. I'm working on a case. The game's afoot, she says. And I frown. What? Isn't that what they say? We detectives don't always say that. Do you know a cusper named Gilbert Trask? Well, it doesn't sound familiar. Let me show her the photograph, though. Yeah, I know. I don't know where the key goes. I take Trask's driver's license out of the wallet and I show it to Judy, and she studies it. Nah, I don't think so. Hey, Bernice! She calls out to the one behind the counter. Come take a look at this. Bernice comes around and she looks at the photo. Charlotte says working one of her cases. She wants to know if we recognize him. Sure, I recognize him, Bernice offers. That's Green Bean Guy. Is it? Judy asks. You bet it is. That's him without glasses, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, what can you tell me about him? Not much, says Bernice. He always comes in by himself and he eats alone, always brings a book with him, and he always orders a meatloaf with 2 sides of green beans and eats the green beans first. See? That punches in his card. He's a regular. Oh, does he ever say anything? Not a peep. When he first started coming in, he never used to leave a tip. Now he leaves a little too much. But he seems harmless enough. Charlotte, you want a slice of pie? No, thanks, Bernice. I'm on the job. I gotta work my next lead. I get up to go. Good luck, Inspector, she laughs. No one appreciates how serious your work is. Golly, everybody. We got a problem here. We don't have a lot of things left to investigate in our wallet. What would Sherlock Holmes do? Well, you know what we have left. Well, hey, Triffid, we've been to the chemical supply store. We haven't been to Lucky Clover Cartage. We've been to the library. We've checked out the automobile bond certificate. We checked out the photo of the lady, the diamond credit agency, the psychiatrist. We haven't checked out the Eye of Amara either. The weird occult society. Well, the only two places left, well, the only three places left to investigate would be to go back to his house, to go to the strange occult place, and to go to the cart place, the mobster place, the gangster place, the tough guy place. You know what? Since there's a tough guy in front of his house and, well, there's a... You know what? I'm not afraid of anything. I say we go to the Eye of Amara Society. That seems, well, maybe less dangerous than gangsters. Okay. Well, let's go there, shall we? I walk past the Eye of Amara's meeting house. It's a big old mansion on Salt and Salt Street, not too far from my house in Arkham. I don't really know what goes on there, but the impression that I get is that it seems to be some kind of like kooky club for mystics. When I walk in the door, a big man at the front desk stops me in my tracks and he says,
"Hey, kid, this club is for members only."
Okay, I can insist that the membership card says admit bearer. And I'm going to just say, this is me. Before he can usher me out the door, I decide to make a stand. Excuse me, sir, but have you even read the membership card for the Eye of Amara?
What? What are you talking about?
And I hold up the membership card. If you read very carefully, sir, you'll see that it plainly says admit bearer, and I'm the bearer of this card according to what it says. So I should be admitted.
Look, kids aren't allowed.
Yeah, what does the membership card say that? Anywhere?
Well, no, but...
And does it say admit bearer?
Well, yes, but...
Well, then I thank you for admitting me. Good day, sir. And with that, I swiftly stride across the foyer and into a room that looks like it's been set up for a seance. Ooh, that's not very helpful. So I move into the next room, which is a library of books about ghosts and voodoo and metaphysics. So I do know what it says. If I know what an El Specchio is, which I do, then I get to go to 186. So I will. I'm going to go right there and also there. Okay. Well, I have to make a library use roll right now to see if I can figure out about the El Specchio of Malfi. I don't have the best library use roll. I hope I do well. Oh, it's a failure. But this is important. I would need 25 luck points. Crowlin notes I'm one of those girls that has moxie, and I do. Well, you know what? It's 25 luck points, and I don't have that much. I only have 53 luck left, but you know what? I think it's important. I think this might be the most important clue ever. So I'm going to spend the 25 points so that we can, well, get in. So here we go. While prowling the books, I discover a book called Dark Masters of Venice about historical occultists in Venice, Italy. One chapter describes Melfi, a glassmaker on the Venetian island of Murano in the 1600s. Hey, that's the 17th century when those other books are from. According to the book, I'm going to read the book to you. There's a quote from the book. Oh, I should write down the name of the book. Here we go. Dark Masters of Venice. Dark Masters of Venice. Okay, here's the quote. I'm going to read it. An angel come from celestial realms instructed Melfi of heavenly mathematics of convex mirrors, their holy reflections, and their earthly fabrication. Under the angel's tutelage, Melfi was able to construct a time machine made of wheels and gears, like the photo I saw, and rods of various and sundry metals and Il Specchio di Melfi, an unflawed glass of his own making, which he did perform miraculous wonders and astonishing, pierce the very veil of heavens and fracture time itself. In days that shall follow, this wondrous device shall be known as a chronolytic capacitor, and it shall be a marvel beheld by princes and kings. Golly, a time machine. I hear the doorman beginning to make his rounds and decide to slip out before he comes in. Golly, everyone. Well, gee whiz. So, this is what I can figure out. Mr. Trask, maybe he was possessed by an angel or something, but he was clearly trying to make this time machine, and that's why he got the El Specchio del Melfi from the the Lucky Clover Cartage Company. But they might be the mobsters, so, well, there's this red herring set of matches. But you know what? I bet it's a red herring. I bet there's nothing there. Well, gee whiz. Let's go back to his house. One last time, right? Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to his house. That guy is still out there. The strange guy who's clearly waiting for Mr. Trask. I have a couple of choices. I can talk to the man, I can ignore him and pursue a different lead, or I could look for a policeman, or I could just go up to the front door. I think I should look for a policeman. I know that Mr. Trask said no policeman, and I know that they're bumbling because I've read all about it to Scotland Yard, but maybe the policeman can scare the guy off. So I'm going to go look for a policeman. I go down the block and I turn a corner and I'm going to look for a policeman. Let's see, maybe I can find one. I've got a successful roll. And, officer, there's a creepy-looking guy parked across the street from 22 Silverbrook Street, and I think you should go and have a look.
Oh, do you? Oh, you do you? Did he... Might be Irish. Oh, you do you? Did he say anything to you?
No, not really.
Oh, did you see him do anything there?
No, but he's just sitting there watching all suspicious-like.
Well, doesn't sound like the crime of the century, but I'll have a word with him.
And I follow him back down to Silverbrook Street. As the officer approaches the Model T, it starts up and it drives off.
Well, looks like that's sorted. Now don't be talking with strangers. Good day, young lady.
And the police officer walks off. Well, okay, now's my chance. Okay, let me have a look around the exterior of the house first before I go to the front door, because I don't know. The house does not have a fence to separate the front from the backyard. Behind the house, dense woods surround a small flat area of lawn. There's doors to a coal chute that leads down to the cellar. They're closed with a padlock. A padlock! The windows that face the backyard have their blinds drawn, and there's a small patio outside the back door. But you know what? I'm going to use that key from the wallet, and I'm going to see if it opens the padlock. Let's try that, huh? As I look at the lock on the coal chute, I discover it's not actually locked. The lock looks fairly new, and the key does fit in the lock. You know what? Let's open the door and slide down the coal chute into the house's basement, because that's how you do adventure. So I remove the padlock using the key, and I quietly lift one of the doors to the chute, and then the dusty slide leads down into the darkness. My mom will kill me because I'm going to get everything all dirty, but it will be worth it if I can solve the mystery. So let's slide down and see what's in there, huh? So into the dark, I fish through the wallet and I find the matchbook. Holding it in my hand, I climb into the slide, and in a moment, I'm whisked down its chute and plop into what feels like a rough pile of rocks. It's nearly pitch black down here. I listen carefully. A floorboard above squeaks. Someone's in the house. Oh, well, There we go. I can't see a darn thing. Well, I just found out what the key goes to. The back door. So, I'm gonna strike a match. Wait. Yeah, no, that's okay. Let's strike a match, shall we? I strike a match from the Head Red Herring Supper Club. There's not a lot to see in the cellar. There's a workbench with a lot of tools on it. And on the workbench, there's some kind of crazy machine. It looks like something you'd see on the cover of Astonishing Tales. It's like a weird mishmash of gears and mirrors and metal rods. It's about the size of a fish tank. Well, I've got to make a spot hidden roll. I'm very worried about this, in case anybody's wondering if I'm worried, because I am. Okay, it's a failure. It's a failure by 18 points. Well, I have 18 points. I have 28 luck. I'm going to spend it. I'm afraid that if I don't, something bad will happen. So, I'm going to spend it. I only have 10 points of luck left. As the match burns down, I see there's a light switch at the top of the stairs. I'm going to keep looking around. Well, I suppose I should turn on the light, though, right? I mean, I suppose that's the way to go. Yeah. Okay, we'll turn on the light. Okay. I flip the switch. And a light bulb illuminates the cellar. There's not much of interest down here besides that weird machine. Seeing it in better lighting makes it seem all that much more strange. Between all the rods and the mirrors, there's one part where a piece seems to be missing. There's an opening and a socket that seems like something should get stuck in it, but what kind of thing might go in it is hard to imagine. I make my way back to the coal chute and shimmy up, pushing the door open. I tumble onto the lawn. I'm a mess, covered in coal dust. Well, I guess we go to the front of the house, huh? I walk up to the front door. I don't hear the sounds of any activity inside. After a moment's pause, I ring the doorbell. I hear footsteps and the door opens just wide enough to reveal a man's face. It's not Gilbert Trask. This man is younger, stockier, and has darker hair than Mr. Trask. And also, this is what he looks like. He looks kind of mean.
Can I, help you, miss?
Well, there are a couple choices here. If I want to ask if this is Mr. Trask's house, I could go to 102. If I want to ask who are you, I go to 103. If I want to say Mr. Trask said I should give you the key, I should go to 104. If I've been on the main floor of this house before, I should go to 230, but I haven't been yet. I'll ask, who are you? Who are you? The man looks a bit startled by my abrupt question.
I'm Walt Monroe. Can I help you?
I sure hope so. I have something of Gilbert Trask's and I thought I should give it back to him, so I brought it here since this is his house.
I see. Well, you can leave it with me. I'll give it to him.
No, this is kind of personal. I think I should really give it right to him. Is he here?
What is it? I can give it to him.
I don't think so, mister. It's his wallet. Where is he? When is he going to be back? Mr. Monroe looks sweaty and uneasy.
He should be back late tonight. If you leave it with me, I'll make sure he gets it.
I could give him the wallet, or I can demand some answers, and I'm going to demand some answers. I'm not going anywhere until I see that Mr. Trask is okay.
He's here. In the house. He's resting.
Well, let me see him.
It's probably best if we just let him be for a bit.
Why? What's wrong with him? Once again, this Walt guy looks uneasy.
I'm not entirely sure, but he'll be all right.
I don't believe him. I demand an explanation, because I can either say I want to see him, or I want an explanation. How about if I demand an explanation? So, what exactly is wrong with Mr. Trask? Walt looks at me, considering something carefully.
Can you keep a secret? I mean, really keep a secret?
But I'm Charlotte Foley. My word is my bond.
What, have you been reading those pulp magazines?
Astonishing stories every month.
Okay, well, here's something astonishing for you. Mr. Trask was possessed.
Oh. My mind wheels as I process this. I mean, he seems very serious. Possessed? Like by a demon or a...
It's a little like that, but, different. And now it's time for this, thing to leave and for Trask to come back. But he can't do that exactly.
Why not?
It's hard to explain.
Why? Because I'm a kid? Try me.
Very well. The Yithians developed mathematics which conceive of space-time as an agglutination of bubbles in which precise application of energy creates a fracture or rift between contiguous spheres of four-dimensional space-time.
Okay, yeah, enough. You didn't say it was going to be math.
The point is, young lady, Mr. Trask can't come home without a pungent quantum field generator at work where his body is, because time worms are a very real byproduct of the rift in space-time through which his psychic unit will pass.
Time worms? That doesn't sound good.
It's not. We built a chronolytic capacitor in the basement. It could allow him to come back and keep the worms at bay, but it's missing a part.
I can either see the machine in the cellar, which I have done, or I could see Mr. Trask. Well, let's go see Mr. Trask. Can we see Mr. Trask then?
Well, if you insist, follow me.
He leads me to the house. It's strangely void of any human touches. Nothing is messy. There are no personal effects or pictures. It's oddly austere. Walt leads me to a door beyond the kitchen. He opens the door to a small bedroom. The man I saw in the woods, Trask, does appear to be laying unconscious on the bed. As I move closer to him, I notice something on the pillow beside his head. At first, I think it might be a small snake or a big worm about 10 inches long, but it seems like it's a writhing black creature with white spots. But as I look at it, I realize it's not black. It seems to be made of the night sky, and what I thought were spots are distant stars.
And I have to make a sand check right now. Sanity? Yes. Yes, I succeed. I lose one sand point. I have 45, by the way. Now I have 44. I am successful.
A shudder rolls through me as I try to process this impossibility writhing on the pillow next to Mr. Trask's head. Its body really does seem to be made of space itself.
I wouldn't touch it if I were you, says Walt.
Yeah, time worms. I'm definitely not going to touch it. It's a pillow snake.
We call them time worms, but yes, I suppose, in a way.
What is it?
It's a dissociated fragment of time. Well, time and space. It's a byproduct of Mr. Trask's condition.
That's horrible.
Yes, Mr. Trask and I were building a machine to help him get better, and to help prevent more of them from showing up.
More? I feel this gut-churning sense of dread.
Yes. Many more, and much bigger.
If I don't know about a machine, I go to 218, but if I do, I go to 219, and I definitely do know about the machine. And if I know what's wrong with the machine, which I do, it's missing a part, then I go to 220, so we should do that. If I know what the missing machine part is, which is the specchio, the mirror, which I do, if it says I know the machine is missing a part, if I know where it is, I go to 222. If I don't know where it is, I go to 223, and I think I know where it is. I think the Lucky Cartage Company has it. Oh, hi, Raiders. How are you? Right now I'm playing 12-year-old Charlotte Foley. And I'm a dog walker at 1925 Arkham, Massachusetts, and I'm trying to figure out, Max says I don't know where it is, that I'm just guessing. Well, but it says that they're the ones who have the Specchio del Melfi from the slip right here. Well, okay. If you say I don't know definitely for 100% sure, but I think... All right. It says the key. I don't think the key's the rod. All right. Because it says... Well, this is a bit of a question. Do I know where it is or do I not know where it is? I know that he ordered it from the Lucky Cartage Company, and I know that's the thing from the books. The last piece, the final key. That we have to get it to him. Well, we'll say this is page 251. By the way, everybody. 251. Page 251. Okay. We'll say we don't know where it is. Okay. So we've got to find this missing part in order for it to work?
That's right.
Any idea where it might be?
No. It was supposed to be delivered here yesterday.
Well, I've noticed a suspicious man lurking about. It says if I have. Then, if I've not spoken to him, I leave the house and go to 96. But if I have talked to him, I go to 115. So, I suppose we go to 96. But okay. This is the man in the Model T. Now I have to talk to him. Okay. I approach the Model T, and the man behind the wheel lowers his newspaper. He startles me by flashing me a big smile. The right side of his mouth is badly scarred, and a mouthful of gold teeth shine brightly from under his misshapen lips. What you doing, mister?
Just, reading the newspaper.
His voice is gruff and tinged with the streets of New York. Are you reading the New York Times?
The Arkham Advertiser.
I wish I had my gangster hat with me. My gangster hat's in the other room. Dang it.
The Arkham Advertiser, if you must know. Didn't your parents teach you not to talk to strange men in cars?
That sounds like something they might say.
So listen to the lady. Don't talk to strange men in cars.
I'm going to ask him about Mr. Trask, though. Hey, mister, do you know the guy that lives here?
Yeah, so what if I do?
Well, I was just wondering, are you guys friends?
Nah, I wouldn't say friends. I'd say we're, business acquaintances.
You don't sound like you're from around here. Are you from New York?
Albany. You know, you're kind of nosy for a kid. What's it to you?
I seized the opportunity to launch into a fast-talking diatribe about my father being away a lot and me helping my poor mother by trying to earn money by walking dogs, and how this one time I was walking this pair of schnauzers up the French Hill, and there were these two identical twins on bicycles. I'm going to have to make a fast-talk roll. Also, I have very little luck left. That's terrible. Golly. But I succeed. I am successful. It says I could, spend luck, but I don't need to. That guy laughs through his gold teeth.
You're funny. Yeah, you remind me of my daughter. She's always going a mile a minute, too. Just like you, always has a question about everything.
She sounds great.
Yeah, I'm Joey. What's your name, kid?
Charlotte. Joey opens up to me. In spite of his gruff manner, he doesn't seem like such a bad guy. He eventually relates that he had some kind of business dealings with Trask back in Albany years ago. Because of something Trask did, Joey got his teeth knocked out and his leg broken. He's been looking for Trask all these years, and now he's finally found him. He wants some satisfaction. Are you going to kill him?
Do I look like a murderer? A moiterer? Wait, don't answer that. Look, because of what he did, I got a beating. Now it's time for payback. Trask is gonna get what's coming to him.
Oh. Well, I can either ask him about his plan or try to talk him out of it. You know what? Maybe I should try to talk him out of it. Jeez. Knocking his teeth out and breaking his leg, that's harsh. Didn't it hurt when those guys did that to you?
That's the point, sweetheart. This is payback. He did me wrong, and now he's gotta pay.
Well, what would it take to keep from beating him up? He looks me in the eye.
Cold, hard cash.
Well, he could pay you off? Settle his debt?
Everybody's got a price, kid. I got mine.
Well, how much?
What?
Well, how much to pay off his debt and to get you to leave him alone?
5 C notes.
That's,
500. 500 and I'll leave him alone. I'll even give back the package I nicked from him.
You took his package?
So what? For 500, I'll give it back. You got that kind of cash, kid?
Well, no, but I know what it's going to take. I do know. I think I have that kind of money, don't I? Maybe. I do. Maybe. Maybe I do know. I know where Mr. Trask is, and if I do know, go to 106. Because I've got that locker bag, but it doesn't give me a choice right there, but I think I do. Let me, I go to the front door of Mr. Trask's house, and I knock on the door, and the door opens, and it's that man, Walt, who's not Mr. Trask.
May I help you?
Are you Mr. Trask?
Yes, we've had this conversation, but who are you?
Look, I know you're not really Mr. Trask.
What?
I mean, we just had the whole conversation. We met. You got to see, anyway, look. See that car out in the street with a guy in it? He's coming to get Mr. Trask and bust out his teeth. But I can protect Mr. Trask if I give this guy some money. But the only money I have is Mr. Trask's money.
I don't understand.
I found his stash at the YMCA. So if you're Mr. Trask's friend, you better help him out here. Because this guy, Joey, well, he means business. The man's clearly thinking hard. Oh, and if I give him the money, he'll give Trask back his package. You know, the one from England.
He has the package?
That's what he told me.
Come inside. Please, quickly.
I cast a look back at Joey, and I slip inside the house. He knows I'm in here, so you better not try anything funny, mister.
No, of course not. Look, I don't know who you are, but you seem to be trying to help Mr. Trask. That's what I'm trying to do, too. It is vital that we get that package, the one from England. You have the money to pay the man out in the car?
Yeah. Well, it's Mr. Trask's money, but I've got it.
Yes. Tell this man we'll pay him, but we need the package.
And if we pay him, he's not going to rough up Mr. Trask either.
Excellent. Go tell him we accept the offer.
Well, okay. I can agree. I go to page 115. I hurry out to the Model T, and I find Joey looking at me expectantly. Okay, we're on. You go get the package you took and bring it back here. I'll have the money here waiting for you.
500?
Yep, $500.
As a kid like you, got to get that kind of money.
Well, that's my problem, isn't it? Joey shoots me a hard glance that dissolves into a chuckle.
Ha, ha, ha. You're just like my Goyle. Except maybe I like you better.
Well, yeah, well, meet me back here later. Well, I've got access to a lot of money, so I'm gonna go to number 121. As quick as I can, I dash to my house and dart into my room and grab the bag of money. My mom's home. My life will be a whole lot better if she doesn't notice me, so I have to make a stealth roll, and I don't have a lot of luck left. Let's see. Okay. Huh! Extreme success! Absolutely, I make it. Okay, I'm successful. I'm like a ninja with cat-like movement. I tiptoe out of the house, unable to believe that I'm carrying this much money down the streets of Arkham. I return to Trask's house, and the man lets me in. Whew. Okay, back in Trask's house, I drop the heavy bag of coins on the kitchen table, and Walt glances down at it.
All there?
Yeah, we've got more than we need. I'm going to count out 25 of these for him.
Good idea.
I count out a stack of 25 coins. Why don't you wait here, Walt? I'll get the package.
Be careful with it.
I go out the front door, and I see Joey parked at the curb again. He sees me, and he smiles. What could go wrong? In his car, Joey's got a large parcel wrapped in a brown paper and tied with a string. That's for me?
Not so fast there, kiddo. Where's the simoleons?
Right here, Joey. And I slide the pile of coins into his hands. You can count them if you want.
Huh, what? You think I don't trust you? We had a deal.
Yes, sir, we did.
So here's Trask's package. Hardly even opened it.
With that, he hands me the parcel. Good to know you, Joey.
Pleasure doing business with you.
He seems a little sad. Hey, Joey. You stay out of trouble now, okay? He grins and he starts to chuckle.
Yeah. Yeah, you too, kid.
He starts up the Model T. And I go back into the house. I walk into the kitchen and I place the parcel on the kitchen table.
Oh, thank God,
says Walt, and he moves to open up the package. I know what's in the package. It's this. And since I do know what's in the package, I get to go to 166.
Oh, thank God. And it's not broken,
exclaims Walt. So, we can install it in the machine?
Yes, here, help me.
And he lifts the ancient-looking convex mirror out of the shipping crate. Together, we remove the object that's been carefully packaged. It looks like an antique mirror that's curved outward like the backside of a spoon. So what's this do?
Honestly, I don't really know what it does. But it's hundreds of years old, and the machine doesn't work without it. They call it il specchio, the mirror, or the glass in Italian. Careful there. We need to lower this end of it down into this slot.
Carefully, we lower the mirror into a socket, and it clicks into place. So, Walt, what's Trask to you? Why are you helping him?
I'm not helping him. Not really. But I am helping the great race.
Why? They sound like jerks, taking over people's bodies?
It isn't unfortunate for us, but it's true.
Well then why do you do it?
There can be wisdom in serving those greater than you. For my services, they sometimes show me things. Give me things. From the future.
Really?
Really.
So, what's the future like? Walt's quiet for a moment as he grasps for words.
Wondrous. And terrible. It depends on how far you go. We need to take this in and put it next to Trask.
I'm going to help Walt. I can either help Walt, put the machine next to Trask, or I get out of here and let Walt handle this himself, but I'm going to help because it's a mystery. I carry the machine to the door of the room where Trask is.
Charlotte, listen to me. When we go in there, don't look at Mr. Trask. He's all right, but there are time worms near his head.
I know.
It's best if you don't look at them.
I know. I try to steal my nerves, but whatever they are, I know I don't want to see them. Because I saw them already. It really freaked me out. The notion of it makes me sweat. Walt opens the door.
Just, look the other way.
The two of us, we carry the time machine into the room. Now I've got to make a POW roll.
By the way, I actually already did do this, but it's okay. And I succeed. I resist the urge to look over at Mr. Trask the second time. The two of us, we place the machine on the nightstand next to the bed. And I look away from Mr. Trask and the bed. So, how do we turn it on? There's nowhere to plug it in. I don't see a switch anywhere.
It doesn't have a switch. It will respond to a voice. Our voices.
Me? You want me to talk to the machine?
It's an incantation from a language that's very, very old. It'll work better if we both do it.
Okay, I can either agree to chant or don't, but I'm gonna chant because I want to know what happens. Walt takes a deep breath.
Okay, now repeat after me. Komos, Atala, Klanak, Mithrog.
With a lump in my throat, I try to say the strange words along with them. Kolmos, Atala, Klanak, Mithrog, and again, Kolmos, Atala, Klanak, Mithrog, Kolmos, Atala, Klanak, Mithrog. A gear on the machine glows slightly and begins to turn. I begin to speak, but a glance from Walt indicates that the chant is more important. Komos, Atala, Klanak, Mithrog, Komos, Atala, Klanak, Mithrog. The gear picks up speed and is spinning fast now. A high-pitched hum comes off the strange metal rods. Another sound comes out of it too. A low sort of pulse. It might be a heartbeat, but not from a human being.
No, I've been lucky. My rolls have been on fire because Charlotte has no skill over 55. I just have, and I've also burnt a lot of luck.
Good, it's working, whispers Walt. Look. He points to where the time orbs have diminished in size. Just tell me when they're gone.
The capacitors, needing them back into space-time.
I don't get it.
Me neither. Ask Professor Einstein.
He quietly moves to the door. Where are you going? Mr. Trask looks like he's getting better. See? His eyes are moving, like he's asleep.
I'll be right back.
Walt slips out of the room. I see Trask's lips trembling, like he's almost talking silently in his sleep. His brow is furrowed, like he's having a nightmare. The worms are nearly gone. Walt returns carrying something that looks like a small picture frame. What's that?
I need to make sure he doesn't see me or the machine. For him, he'll wake up with no idea what happened in the past 5 years. It'll be just as if he crashed that truck in Albany.
Well, how are you going to do that?
I'm going to use this. I call it a flummoxer. The Great Race provided it to help in these transfers. It'll keep him out of it long enough for me to clean up and get out of here.
Will it hurt him?
He won't feel a thing. Watch.
And with that, Walt points the picture side of the flummoxer at Trask. And before you can say a word, a deep whoop sound comes from the device. The consternation appears from Trask's face. He looks relaxed, like he's napping and enjoying a pleasant dream.
Thanks, Charlotte. You've been a big help. I'm sorry.
And then I realize he's turned the flummoxer towards me. I don't want to be flummoxed. I'm going to roll dodge to avoid being flummoxed. I'm going to roll dodge. Dodge? My dodge isn't very good, though. It's a 25. Huh? Oh! I roll an 18 out of 25. I'm successful. I'm going to dodge. I don't want to be flummoxed. I'm fleet of foot. I duck around the door jamb, and I hear a deep woof sound coming from behind me in Trask's room. I feel the hair on the back of my head standing up. There's no way I'm sticking around here to get flummoxed. Now I dash onto the sidewalk in front of the house. I'm gonna... Oh, golly. I can try to find a cop, or I can run home, or I can investigate possible leads. I don't think I have any other leads to investigate. I know what happened. I'm going to run home. I'm going to go to 151. I don't think I should... Mr. Trask said not to call the police, and he won't know anyway. So I think maybe I shouldn't call the police. I mean, I do know there's a police officer around the road, but I think that'd be so much to explain, and I'm going to run home. Oh, home again. I sprint down Powder Mill Street and around the corner of Saltonstall and up the stairs to my house. As I get inside the door, I lock the lock behind me. Charlotte, don't slam the door. My mom bellows from the kitchen. I move to the window and look out the sidewalk to make sure I wasn't being followed. I don't see anyone. Charlotte, what are you doing? What's wrong? I look at her and I contemplate whether to tell her everything. I can't. She'd not believe it. And if she did, I'd get in trouble for, well, about a million things. As if it was hard to be a good detective, and before all this, it'd be impossible now. It's nothing, Mom. I'm just looking outside. She wanders back into the kitchen, muttering, "You are the strangest child." Well, now I don't know what to do. I could hang up my hat and end the investigation, or I could go back to Trask's house one last time. And you know what? I think I'm going to go back. I figure they might have cleared out by now, and maybe I'll find something. So I'm going to go back to Trask's house. I run down Powder Mill Street and turn right on Silverbrook. I stop for a moment as I look at the house at number 22. There's no parked car out front. I slowly walk to the front door and ring the bell. I hear movement inside, and the door opens. It's Gilbert Trask. He looks at me, confused. He glances up and down the street, and then his gaze returns to me. Gilbert Trask? He nods, slowly and surely. Is anyone else here? He shakes his head, no. You don't know me. My name's Charlotte, and, I'm a dog walker, and I don't think I need the creepy music anymore. I don't think so, at least. I mean, maybe I do, but, I might. But now I don't think I can turn it off. No, I can't, 'cause I messed it up. That's okay. I guess we'll just come back. Well, you don't know me. My name's Charlotte. I'm a dog walker, and I was out in the woods, and, today, and I found your wallet, and your glasses. Here. And I hand them to him, and he looks at me oddly. I don't wear glasses. I realize that maybe he didn't 5 years ago. No need to try to explain all that. Well, I found your wallet too. I hand it to him, and I turn to head back to the sidewalk. He stands in the doorway, and he looks down at the wallet. He looks back up at me, puzzled. I give him a little wave, and Mr. Trask waves back. Well, my investigation has reached an end. It says here, "Thanks again for playing the dog walker. I can start again, or I can choose to go back to any point in the story that I've been to before and make a different decision. Or maybe get a luckier roll. But you know what? I don't think I need other luck, because we did it. We are now the best detective in all of Arkham. And when I grow up, I'm going to go to Miskatonic University, and I'm going to study, and I'm going to find out about this great race of Yithians. And you know what? There are things out there that man was not meant to know. But if we don't know about them, well, how can we stop them? You know what I think? I think I'm going to become the best investigator there's ever been, better than Sherlock Holmes, and, well, I'm going to find out about all those things, all those mysterious things out there in the world. Or I'm not Charlotte Foley. And you know what? I kept 1 gold coin. This will be useful for my future investigations.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that, we end our investigation. Now, before we 100% forever and ever end this investigation, I have got questions for people in chat. I am so excited that we look at that, everybody. So that there, I'm going to just refresh so I can turn off our creepy music because we don't actually need the creepy music right now. There we go. Ah, excellent. Oh, golly. Okay. So we're going to go and give a giveaway. So let's do a couple bits of talking. We've got bits of talking to do. A bit of like, let's do some, what do you call them? We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway for, thank you, Rissa, by the way, for reminding me. We're going to do a giveaway for an Academic Foxhole mug. Their mugs, also, by the way, they're delicious and lovely. I support them. So we're going to do this giveaway. And as we're doing the giveaway, as we are doing this giveaway, I just want to share with you, we're going to talk about how you play Call of Cthulhu a little bit. As we do this giveaway, you're going to want to, it'll tell you what to do. Let's, here's our giveaway. So all you have to do is type !enter, and you'll be entered to win our exciting mug, because I've got some giveaways left over, and I want to finish those giveaways so we can start up with our brand new round of merch when we get there. So let's talk, shall we, about this adventure and what happened with it and all of the excitement. So, well, I suppose we should finish because not everybody has played Call of Cthulhu before, but where are you, Charlotte? So in Call of Cthulhu, and I believe we just need to go here. Sweet. So in Call of Cthulhu, what happens is once you finish your adventure, once your adventure is done, at the end of the adventure, you go through and you make... So Call of Cthulhu does not have experience points, not like Dungeons and Dragons, right? You don't just get experience points. That's not how it works. I'll see you, Roller. By the way, before we finish, I also want to find out what happened in Max Ryder's version. Max Ryder has played this and he cried at the end. So I want to know what happened. So don't forget to say enter. We did a bunch of rolls while we were here. We did, let's see, we did do dodge. We dodged successfully, which is good. Where are we? Here we go. All the way down to the back, right? So, whoop, we dodged. We did stealth successfully. We have done fast talk successfully. We did spot hidden successfully. We did library use successfully, I think, once. Fast talk, library use, no charm, luck, yes, no. Spot hidden, we have done. And we have that brawl right there. That was when I was testing things. Okay, so this is how we do this. Failing that last dodge is catastrophic. Oh, that sounds very bad. That sounds very bad. Oh, hoo-hoo. So now that we have finished our adventure, we have to do our leveling up. And one of the things we do is we have to roll to find out. So this is how it works. If you use a skill successfully during the adventure, once the adventure is over, what you do is you roll that skill. And if you fail the roll, then you increase the skill. So what that means is that when you're really, really good at a skill, it's actually very hard to get better at it. But like when you're not as good at a skill, it's much easier to get better at it. So let's try, shall we? Let's see if we can up our dodge while we are here, because I will tell you what I think would be awesome is getting better. And we're going to learn. We're going to learn. Let's see. Dodge. We failed our dodge just barely, which means we get to up our dodge. We get to roll a 1d10 and increase our dodge. And I do not think there are any... By the way, you know what I think is really good in role-playing game character sheets for Roll20, which many character sheets do not do, but the ones that I make for my games one day will always do this. There should always be a button for a generic roll, right? For just like a general roll that uses the... what do you call it? The dice formatting. but let me roll my 1d10 and let's increase our dodge. We increase our dodge by 1. Well, okay. Well, we only go up by 1, but our dodge is, I will take it, right? Our dodge is now a 26. Actually, I don't think we add that there. I think we add this here. Nope, we add it there. I was right. +1. Oop. All right, so our dodge, we increase our dodge. Let's then try our fast talk and see if we can increase our fast talk. No, we do not increase our fast talk because we made that roll. Let's see if we can increase our first aid. We do not increase. I didn't actually even make a first aid roll. What was that about? Let's make our library use. Hey! We increase our library use by 8. Hey! That is awesome. By the way, Max Ryder, you have won a mug. Congratulations, Max, on the mug. Woo! That is awesome. That is awesome. I love that. Well, the mug is delicious. I love it. This mug makes me very happy. By the way, we're going to just increase our library use by 8, which makes that a 42. This makes me... When are we going to play Charlotte again? I don't know, but it doesn't matter because we're going through the whole process. And then we also have spot hidden and stealth. Let's see if we increase our spot hidden. No, because we had a great success. How about our stealth? Nope, we do not increase our stealth either. This will have to be for the next time we play. However, we also get to, at the end of it, we get to roll luck to see if we increase our luck, because our luck is currently 10. And I will tell you, we absolutely increase our luck because we failed that roll, which I thought we would, and we increase it by 1. Okay, we only get to increase our luck by 1, which is very sad because we only have 11 luck. But after our next adventure, I imagine we will hopefully get better with that. So this was our, let me come back over here for a moment. There we go. So this was our amazing adventure of the dog walker. There is a group adventure version of this using the amazing prop made by the HPLovecraft Historical Society, which comes with like all of these really cool props, right? Like we've got the photo of the mom, we've got the pocket guide to Arkham, the red herring set of matches, the Arkham bus line, our fortune cookie, an Arkham bus token, the $20 gold coin, all these receipts. But here's the thing about this. And of course our money. Great. This wallet, while it is certainly made for this adventure, has way more stuff in it than just this. It also has other things in case you're also using it for your own ends. So for example, there's also in here the Miskatonic University Museum ticket. So a ticket to the Miskatonic University Museum. This here is a gun license. This is a license to have a pistol in the city of Arkham. That's exciting. A resident citizen sporting license, which I think we're probably going to want that if we have guns around. Oh, hey, what is this? I've not looked into this thing because I didn't look at all inside the props because I didn't want to be spoiled for the adventure. Keep your gun clean with hops number 9. Solve it. It's a coupon. Oh, also our horoscope on the back. That's exciting. We have a prescription blank National Prohibition Act. Oh, a prescription so we can get drugs, which people in Call of Cthulhu often need. Some laudanum. Give this ticket to pilot. Oh, hey, this is a ticket for an airfare. This here is not good after time indicated. Arkham Transit Company. Looks like a nice trolley ticket for the train. Nice. Service card. Automobile insurance service card. Nice. what do we have here? We have Stronghold, name of insurance company. Yes, the roll 20 character sheet. So this is your car registry for Massachusetts, 1925. Here we have, what do we have here? We have your more car registry business for your car. This here is a Fennel's Roadhouse. Oh, this is a fuel and lodging. It's a place to stay. It's a nice motel. Here we have another photograph. Ooh. What is this? A photograph of two kids. Mysterious. Arkham Public Library. Library card. Love it. I could definitely use that. A membership card to the Arkham Historical Society. Another newspaper. What is this here? We've got Shall Justice Die? We Are Innocent Victims. Looks like maybe this is about maybe child labor, but they're classified ads. Wanted, shorthand and typewriting. Wanted, daring experienced person or people to investigate difficult problems. May be dangerous. Some pay. Well, okay. Chauffeur for a family. Some situations wanted. Chamber work. Or care of one child. Jobbing wanted. Wanted by bricklayer. Tutor, young man, 18, high school graduate. Desires one or more pupils. Research assistant. College educated, reads Latin, French, and German. Studious and perseverant, has a library card. Huh. There seems to be somebody who's looking for investigators out there in Arkham. And then lastly, the Miskatonic Athletic Association Certificate of Membership. Nice. Why does... So these props, right, they are to inspire you. If you are a GM and you want to use these props as a clue, you might make your own adventure, you can use them and come up with stuff. If you are a player and you want to figure out, you want to have your own in-character wallet, there you go, there's that. So like, I thought that was like super, super cool, right? I thought that was neat. And like, how awesome is that, right? And the HPLHS has got lots of really cool props, like lots of props. Yeah, there's a protest outside the White House. I'm going to assume it must be about child labor, is what I'm assuming. So, I'm going to see what you all look. Oh, by the way, if you like to do digital props, definitely go there because they have a font pack of period fonts. They've got a lot of props that you can get. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff there that you can just do digitally, but they also have these really cool physical props that are awesome. I can show you. Let me move my second camera out. One of these days, I'm going to have to run Mask of Nyarlathotep in person because I got this amazing cool box of props. And this prop set is everything like because like, you know how like a lot of Call of Cthulhu adventures have really cool little handouts, but they're all like little photocopies. They just made real versions of everything. And this is the user guide, which I'm not going to look at the moment. But check out what they've got. So this is from Mask of Nyarlathotep. Here they have an Edison cylinder with the recordings. The actual recording is on a USB stick with MP3s, but you've got your Edison cylinder of like the recordings that you find. Creepy, creepy scroll with creepy scroll things in it. Here we have some stamps. Passports for all of your players. So this here will be a passport for each of your players. right? And it's got all the passport information. And then besides all of that, these stamps, right, the passports, it also has got stamps for your passports, right? So all the places you go in the adventure, Egypt, Mombasa, London, right? How cool is that? All the passport stamps for all of your players. But of course, it also has a cool vintage map, reproduction, of course. And then, in addition to that, it has a folder for each of the locations that you go to. And each folder, so this is the Peru folder. And each folder is based on the location, and each folder has inside of it all of the things that you would need for that location. So the Peru folder has got newspaper articles. Like they actually have their own printing press, so they can actually make their own newspaper. They can actually make actual newspapers, right? So they've got this newspaper article that you're going to read. You've got a telegram. You've got maps. So basically they do, oh, look, check this out, right? You've got this really cool letter that your players find. And more cool maps of Peru. So they have a folder for each one of the locations in this massive adventure, massive Nyarlathotep. And that's done by Chaosium. But what they do is they then create the props. I imagine that these were originally by some Call of Cthulhu keeper GM who just was like a big prop fiend and was like obsessed with props and decided to start making them and was like, wait, I bet I could sell them. And they absolutely could. So I've got this great box. I just have to play in person. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Because this is one of those things that you would need you need people around the table to really appreciate this. One day. You've been using newsprint paper for your newspaper handouts. Oh, can you? Oh, I bet you can just buy newsprint, right? I hadn't thought about that. When you get it, you also get all the PDFs of the props too, so you can make more handouts. For Nyarlathotep, did I have to go look at that? Let's see. I'm going to see what people are saying in chat because I'm curious to know. Also, I want to know why Max Ryder cried at the end, because it sounds to me like Max had a different ending than I had for the dog walker. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. So, Mrs. Cole needs to be sad. She's awesome. I love her. You look so much when I run Call of Cthulhu. Do the bad guys coincidentally show up at the worst time? Luck check. Absolutely. I bought the watch tonight. Oh, you did? I want to get the watch. So I know that now, Max, if I remember correctly, you don't allow players to use luck, right? You don't allow them to spend luck. I believe that's the case, that Max does not allow players to spend luck. Let's see. Yeah, and they also do like radio stories, and they do really great things. Rissia asks, I'm curious whether the outside of the matchbook was a clue. I think it was a red herring, which is hilarious. So, where is that character? Oh, you were asking. The character sheet available. So what I was using here, this here is the character sheet in Roll20. So the Roll20, of course, has character sheets built in. Well, it has lots and lots of character sheets, either made by the companies themselves or by fans. And they have a really good Call of Cthulhu character sheet that is from Chaosium. And it's very nice. If you've never used it, right, you can, got all of your hit points, you've got your conditions, you've got all of your skills right there. And then they've got a combat tab where you've got anything you might need for combat. But I'm going to tell you, Charlotte is not good at combat. You've got all of your backstory stuff. You've got any spells you might have, you can add there. Any possessions you can add right there. And then, there's just like settings. You can also, you can also make an NPC character sheet using Roll20 as well. If you're a keeper and you don't want a full character sheet for all of your NPCs, you can just use the NPC version. And of course, all of these things here are buttons that are rollable. So if I want to roll accounting, I just click on that and let me get you my roll box, right? And then accounting shows, hey, critical success. Nice. Wasting my good rolls right now. But so there you go, right? So you've got so all these things are buttons that you can click to roll. It's a good character sheet. They do a really good job. And this is officially what's the word? Supported. Also, because they have official support. Chaosium has done official support. Many game companies have not done official support yet, but it's really good to do so. And there are reasons why official support is great, and I will tell you what they are once I get caught up with chat. Let's see. There was nothing written inside the matchbook, Volpez, I'm afraid. Let's see. Holly props, protest ad. I like how the whole scenario feels like a young adult book, like the Adventures of Alvin Fernand or the Mad Scientist Club, right? Or the Great Brain. Absolutely. Low danger for the most part, but feeling like adventure. Or the Goonies. Yeah, that was super fun. It was a really good adventure. Australia says, have you seen how many under 18s play Minecraft? The children long to return to the working the mines. Don't take that away from them. I love you, Australis. I got the Angel box for Christmas a few years ago. It's amazing. Yeah, if you all like Cthulhu, they're props, and they also have some free stuff in there that you can get as well. Let's see. And the Mask's Companion. I don't think I have the... well, I don't know if I have... I don't think I have the Mask's Companion. So you have... their Dark Adventure Radio Theater recordings are also great. Oh, yes. So you have 10 reams of 8.5 by 11 inch newsprint. I need to get 8.5 by 11 newsprint clearly. I would like to say, Max Ryder, I want to thank you for changing my life. I had never realized that I could just do that, but now that I realize that I can, I need to do that then. Yes. So no luck spending. I don't care for it. It gives the players too much agency, in my humble opinion. However, I give out coins for good roleplay, fun ideas, or the like. The players can nominate others for coins as well. Those can be spent during the game sessions like luck. Unless you have considerably less coins than luck. One guy has got 10 in one session. It's not typical. Each player starts out with 1 coin, and they get more during play. However, they can also give coins to their players if they want to help out, and sometimes I will bribe players with coins to make bad decisions or take even worse rolls or fumbles at one point for more coins later. And Rissa gave us coins to do to flip die rolls or to get advantage. Rissa was using advantage before Call of Cthulhu was using advantage, as a matter of fact. Max says, here's what I wrote above. The ending just got me. Taking the wallet back and then waving at him and him waving back just got me for some reason. It was so sweet and cute, and I could just picture it. Yeah. You worked on the Masked Companion? So much stuff. Nice. I didn't know that. So cool. Okay, I've got a link for newsprint. I'm going to just copy that. Copy link address and add it to my many tabs. I'd say I'd love to see a grown-up Charlotte created for Cthulhu Confidential. Yes, Simon, we were talking about the massive Nyarlathotep prop set from the HPLovecraft Historical Society. So good. There was something else I wanted to say about. Yes, I think a lot of these things I think depend on how long you imagine your campaign running. I didn't do a lot on the Masked Companion. I believe I was a first pass reader or something like that, but I did get a special copy and I backed the Kickstarter. Nice. Yeah, no, I think their stuff is super quality. I really like them. And with luck though, I always find I let people use luck. If you're doing a one shot, I guess no. I mean, I think the goal is, do you want your characters to die? If you want the characters to die, don't let them use luck, right? If you want them to, if what you're looking for is one of those one shots where people go mad and die real quickly, don't use luck. And then you will get that kind of everybody dies sort of deadly one shot sort of a thing. I find when doing sort of a slightly longer campaign, I want to let them use luck, because also luck is a double-edged sword. If you use up all your luck, then you're going to fail all of those luck rolls. Yes. Let's see. Yes, I forgot who put it out, but it was like 500 pages, I think. Lots of extra stuff. I'm running it with people at work. They go crazy for hopes. Yes, it's so good. It's my second time running it. I need more passports. More passports. I let them use luck, but no more than 10 points at a time. See, Ressa doesn't let us use more than 10 points at a time because I think she doesn't want us to. She wants to try to protect us from ourselves because this way we actually end up staying with really high luck. Because we can't use more than 10 at a time, we never really get depleted, not like our poor Charlotte, who's down to 11 luck. And that'll be, you know. Uh, I don't want the characters to die or go crazy, but I still feel it just makes it too easy for the characters. And in one shot, it's too easy to just burn all your luck, and who cares at the end? Yeah, have them die and go crazy, right? My current COC character is down to 3 luck. Yeah. I'm heavy in favor of some instrumental luck roll at the end of every scenario that determines who lives and who dies. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that there are lots of ways to just go and like do TPKs and just kill all of them. There's there are I think there are lots of, I mean, like if you really want that like sort of like epic everybody dies, there are ways to do it. Um, pushes I think pushes are tricky because if you so there are a couple so in Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, the newest edition, where they sort of updated the rules. Most of the I don't want to kill the players. They do a job of killing each other themselves. So for those of you who don't know, this is the 7th edition of Call of Cthulhu, and the first 6 editions were mostly the same, just sort of updated over time. They were very like cross-compatible. The 7th edition has a lot of changes mechanically to them. It feels very much the same, but they've done a lot of changes. They've really sort of like streamlined things. They've added luck so people can spend luck, but they've also added the mechanic of pushing a roll. So if you fail a roll, not combat rolls and not sanity checks, but if you fail a roll and there is a good justification of being able to try a second time or like use extra effort, you can push the roll. But when you push the roll, the difficulty becomes harder. And if you fail a second time, the outcome is worse, right? So it's like, let's say you are trying to climb up a trellis and you fail and you have to get a regular climb check and you fail that climb check. Oh, I suppose I should explain one more thing. In 7th edition, Call of Cthulhu, you have a skill. Let's say your skill is 60 and you make it under 60, you have a regular success. If you make it under half, so under 30, that's a hard success. And if you make it at 1/5 or 3? 45, 9, no, no, it's 20%? No, it's, what is it? It's 10, 20? 20% I think is hard. 20. A fifth, 20%, yeah. Under 20%, in this case, it would be 12, then you get an extreme success. So if you have to make a climb check, let's say you're climbing up a trellis and you fail the roll, you have to make a case for how you could push, like how you could actually sort of redouble your efforts. And maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to like hook myself onto this thing, and then you get to roll again, but now you have to make a hard check. So rather than rolling under 60, you have to roll under 30. And if you fail that roll, then something really bad is going to happen to you. Like you might slip, fall, and break your neck and die. Or like it's gonna be really, really bad. Like so like failure from a push roll is really, really bad. So you just don't want to push unless you really have no other choice. Because pushing is more difficult and the outcome is much, much worse for you. So instead of just failing, you're going to fail spectacularly and really bad things will happen and it's much harder to succeed. So I don't recommend pushing unless you have no other choice. And even if and sometimes even just take the loss. Sometimes it's just better to take the loss. Have a regular failure rather than an extraordinary failure is probably better most of the time. I am going to avoid pushing as a player. I'm just not going to push unless there is no other way around it. I would rather just take a fail. I would rather just take a fail than to push and get the worst fail. It has to be something really, really crucial where I'm willing to just be dead. You know what I mean? It's got to be real bad. Yeah. So got a player who pushed to avoid dying. He made his legs now broken permanently. Walks with a cane, move reduced. Yeah. Yeah. Stop, you're wrong, says Max. Go on. Just say more. Let me look this up for you right now. The skill and difficulty level normally remain unchanged. Let's see. Let me look here. But they may be modified. So pushing a roll. Pushing a skill roll provides the player a second and final attempt to achieve a goal. A push roll is only allowed if it can be justified. Only if it's justified, and is up to a player to do this. Whenever a player asks, can I push the roll, the keeper should always ask, what action are you taking to push the situation? It is not for the keeper to simply say yes or no, it is for the player to describe the extra effort or time taken to justify the pushed roll. If the player is stuck, other players or the keeper might offer suggestions. By making a pushed roll, the player is upping the ante and giving the player permission to bring dire consequences should the roll be failed a second time. Pushing a roll means pushing the situation to the limit. If you are breaking down a door, it may mean throwing yourself at it with no heed for your own safety. If you're persuading a police officer, it may mean risking arrest, etc., etc. It is important to note that a push roll is not simply a re-roll. Time always passes between rolls. It may be seconds or hours. When making a pushed roll, the goal must still be achievable. The skill and difficulty level normally remains unchanged, but may be modified if the situation changes. Only skill and characteristic rolls can be pushed, not luck, sanity, or combat rolls, or rolls to determine an amount of damage or sanity loss. Yeah. So, hello, Raiders. How are you, Other Doc? We're wrapping up. We're sort of doing our after action report. Yeah. Time, right. That's the thing I usually overlook and need to amend that in my play. So difficult the same, it's still dangerous. Yeah, but it's a second attempt, right? So, and it has to be justified in order to do it. And yeah. Yeah. So again, right? A pushed failure is, I find it not to be worth it, generally speaking. Like, I am generally not going, unless I have a character, if I'm playing a character who's reckless and does not care for their own safety, then I will play a character who will push rolls all the time because they don't care about their safety. But that character probably will not last very long. Although sometimes luck gets weird, you know? Yeah. The justification is where my players fail. They can't figure out how to push a roll. Yeah, it requires a little bit of player creativity. Or from the peanut gallery. Yeah, so you can always push a roll, but again, much more dangerous. The outcomes are worse. And you don't just fail. You fail and bad things happen. So, and bad things in Call of Cthulhu are never good. So you always have to decide if it's worth it for you. And I think, sometimes the push roll fails and you still technically succeed. Really? Well, I suppose my question would be, if failing is still a success, why would you need to push the roll in the first place? Do you know what I mean? Because it's yeah. Yeah, I wonder what that would be. Yes. Let's see. It says here, pushed roll. The player's goal is achieved as it would have been for the original success. None of the consequences of failure happen. Push roll failure. Failing a push roll grants the keeper free reign over the outcome, including damage, sanity checks, loss of equipment, isolation from the rest of the investigators, capture, and so on. The keeper can even incorporate the player's goal being achieved, even though the player failed the push roll, but at some form of cost. When the player fails a push roll, he or she is giving the keeper license to make the investigators' lives more difficult. A consequence should steer the game towards the theme of horror, taking the investigators one step nearer to their doom. A player gets to push a skill roll, and if he or she fails, the keeper gets to push the horror back in that player's face. Yes. So, there you go. This is on page 86, but only if letting them achieve their goal makes it worse for them in the end, right? This is the cost, right? Bad times. So it's the, if you succeed in your goal with a pushed failure, that means the GM is giving you something really terrible. They're giving it to you. They're not just giving you the success. They're going to give it to you and make you bleed and pay for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So or if I really want them to get the information or clue them, I personally, I subscribe to the idea that if you do not want the roll to fail, you do not roll for it, right? In the sense that if I, as a GM, do not want them to fail this roll, I'm just not going to make them roll it, right? If it is, because it feels dishonest, right? Like if, right, like if they have to get this clue, then I'm not going to make them roll for it. Like if that is just how it is, or if I do make them roll for it, I let them know you will get the clue whether you succeed or fail. The roll is not to decide if you get the clue. It's to see how much more you get, or you know what I mean. Like it's for the extra bonus on top. Hello, Lysander. So yeah, never make them. I don't make them roll if the roll is meaningless. Like any roll has to actually mean something. But I also will sometimes say this is not this. If you fail this roll, you still get the clue. It's just that you're not going to get the extra info, right? You know what I mean? Like you can always do that. Yeah, you do some rolls with how long does it take? Absolutely. So this was a good one. This was a good adventure. So anyway, that is, by the way, Call of Cthulhu for you. It's a great, the Roll20's got a good character sheet. It's got some good stuff. You got to work it out, but it gives you all the stuff you need. It lets you know if you get a critical success, if you get, you can use bonus and penalty die. You can, it's got all the elements to it. Yeah. So it's good. I'm always very careful though. I'm always very careful about, because here's the thing, Call of Cthulhu is it can be a pretty deadly system in more than one way. And your characters are pretty fragile. You know, you don't have a lot of hit points, and you don't get more hit points over time, right? Like 10, let's say you get like 10 hit points. Let's say you have that. That's what Charlotte has. Charlotte has 10 hit points. And that's all you're ever going to have. And someone's always getting hurt in a combat. And let me think. A knife? How much damage does a knife do? Let's see. Knives are... Give me a knife. I don't want to enchant knife. I just want a knife. Give me a knife. Knife? Knife? Give me a knife. I just want a knife. Knife is 1d4 up to 1d6, I think. Yeah, I think so. Here we go. A knife. A medium knife. A small switchblade does 1d4 plus your damage bonus. So you could, like, one knife stab, and you could be in serious trouble, right? People are very fragile, very fragile. So you got to watch out for things. Pretty deadly, but does it have a D66 critical injury table? No, but it should. Right, Max says, oh, but I got pretty much the same ending as you. I think I went to the house first to return the wallet, then tried to find the mirror thingy for them. I kept missing the spot hidden for the damn Model T until the very end when I met Joey, so I also had all the money. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. But I hit the Lucky Strike place twice because I thought I messed up the first time, but it's just a dead end. I did not go there because people kept telling me, don't go there. And I was like, oh, I think my little kid would probably not. Yeah, you can, yeah, people can die. People can die. The mobsters are not going to kill a little girl. Who knows? All the adults said don't go there, so I didn't go there. Yeah, you get to be the guy in the charge. He's kind of nice, actually. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, handguns. Yeah, you can die real fast. That's all I'm saying. So it's a very, it's a game where, now that said, generally speaking, most of the campaigns of Call of Cthulhu that I've played have been campaigns that run for decades, for like a really long time, where the GMs don't particularly run it super deadly. So yeah, in the game that Riss is running, I'm still playing my character, Tommy, and we've been playing for 15 years or so. The campaign that I was in with the Engans who did Mountains of Madness, Beyond the Mountains of Madness, that campaign started in like 1980 something, early 80s, and they're still running. So those are not particularly super high mortality campaigns. And of course, those campaigns also use the means for people to get their sanity back through therapy and touchstones and all that. So I've played in a lot of not particularly deadly campaigns that way, but all the one-shots, all the campaign one-shots I've been in have all been one-shots where basically everybody dies or goes insane except for maybe one person, maybe. And if you're lucky, maybe you stop the apocalypse. But at the end, everybody's dead. So I find that one-shots, convention games tend to be murder cauldrons, and I have been pretty lucky to play in some games that have like a sort of longer term arcs. Yeah, machete is D8. One impale with a handgun usually kills. Yep. Yep. I need to up the deadliness of your games. My Salt Marsh campaign finally got me a kill, but it was in the Dreamlands when I rolled a critical success with a sword and ended a dreamer. Oh, interesting. Rissa, I don't know if you are outliers. I think that there are I think there are two different ways that people play Call of Cthulhu. I think that some people play it in a super deadly way and some people play it in this other way. And I think that because here's the thing, the reason why I think you're not outliers is because, like, the Bay Area has a pretty strong Call of Cthulhu scene, and that was pretty standard up there. So I don't know if you are outliers. And if any of the Drynax crew are buying into the Alien RPG Evolved Edition Kickstarter, you should run the new cinematics. Only run it once. Did not go that long, but it was scheduling that made it end. Scheduling is a thing that man was not meant to know. My one shot was fairly tame, I feel. You guys killed the crap out of the main bad guy with the submachine gun and a shotgun. Guns are strong. But also, you were running what your one shot was Delta Green, and Delta Green is a bit more you're more resilient. You're more resilient. I'm looking forward to Tommy Sandloss reading Grace's family. Are they eldritch creatures? The only time I've played Swede, despite me being from Sweden. Oh. When I first started running Call of Cthulhu, I had about a 25% kill rate. Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's already. Oh, Lindy absolutely runs Alien, and she's still running it. She runs it pretty like she does it. She's got. It's a long running campaign. It just doesn't run every week. I think it's like every month or every other month, something like that. But she definitely runs it. Free League has got some good stuff in there. Victims and Veggies, AE, Convention Play, and other. My one shot actually wasn't Delta Green, old monographs. Oh, nice. So, that was Call of Cthulhu. If you all haven't played it, if you've never played Call of Cthulhu, I will say the following. First, what I will say is Call of Cthulhu is an OG game. Like, it's been around for a very long time. RuneQuest is first. It's one of the first generation of RPGs. It was very revolutionary in many, many ways. Very like it's a historically significant RPG, which you should check out. They are especially well known for their campaigns. They were doing huge, epic campaigns well before Pathfinder did their adventure paths, or like those big, massive campaigns that are kind of popular now. They were doing those way back when, and they do these, and they are some of the few places where you'll find sandbox campaigns, where they give you this big sprawling world and you get to just kind of travel and decide what you want to do with it. They are very, very they're very well known for their adventures, for their sandbox adventures. Also, they helped bring H.P. Lovecraft's stories into popularity again. He wasn't like super popular, but the popularity of the role-playing game got people reading the stories again. Plus, they also Chaosium also ended up publishing a lot of his, like, collecting and publishing a lot of the stories of Lovecraft and Derleth and Chambers and all the sort of people in that sort of weird tales scene and vibe. And many people who say they like Lovecraft actually like the RPG because they may not have actually read Lovecraft. They've done a lot, I think, to sort of do really interesting things with it. And they also apparently Mass came out in the 80s as a result of a TV writer strike. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. My Saltmarsh Down Darker Trails campaign is an adaptation of the Saltmarsh trilogy for Call of Cthulhu, has actually been a bit tame. Hawkeye says, my second character in this COC campaign. First character, retired missionary, was slain. Now his best friend from a Nashville recording studio. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Apparently Mass came, wasn't one of the writers of Mass doing it while on strike? I think so, yes. I think so. Also, I would say another thing is that this really helped, Call of Cthulhu really helped bring to popularity historical RPGs, because at this point in time, you get a lot of fantasy, then you were getting like sci-fi, but this really helped like make historical RPGs a thing and popular. It also helped with LARPing a bit, like in changing what LARPing was like. So it's a good game. I would say things to note that it's a horror game. So if you don't like horror, don't play it. One thing. It has, some people nowadays don't like it because it is, different aesthetics have changed over time. And, but it also has a sanity mechanic because it is modeling the fiction of cosmic horror where people are just exceedingly traumatized over time, right, by these things that are incomprehensible, and like suffer basically PTSD and these kinds of things, right? So there's more than one way to lose your character. There's physical damage and also mental damage. Percentile based, sort of innovative mechanics, very interesting. I would say if you want to play Call of Cthulhu, really find out what kind of vibe your GM is running. If they're running a very deadly sort of everybody dies at the end campaign, know that and be prepared for it when you're going into it. If they're running sort of like a longer sprawling, more sprawling sort of thing, then be prepared for that. But also, if you're a player, do not play your character as if it's a D&D character that can withstand lots and lots of damage, because you cannot. Play careful, play smart, ambush things, do your research, cheat to win. I don't mean by cheating the dice, but like if there's like a group of cultists, maybe you don't charge in by yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe you find other ways to solve that problem that do not involve you charging in by yourself into a room full of cultists doing bad things. You know, get protection. Get protection. That would be some of my, do your investigation, get your protection, find out if there are ways to stop the bad stuff without charging into a room full of cultists who are going to murder you. Unless you're playing Delta Green, in which case you're all special ops people and then you're much more hardy, but you know, it's a different style of game. It's not as much a power fantasy as it is like this kind of desperate investigation. Yes. Let's see. Pagan Publishing. Try not to confront the monsters. Dynamite and shotguns are your friends. Yes, yes, yes. Wandering GM says, my first COC character had 4 max HP, using D20 at the time. Oof. And I survived till the very end through luck and preparedness. Yep. People in real life and in Call of Cthulhu are squishy. Yep. Yep. Let the small children tank for you. That's right. Yes. You don't have to be the fastest runner. Just don't be the slowest. It's a good game. I have not run any Call of Cthulhu, the actual Chaosium system, on my channel. I mean, I've done solo. I've done Call of Cthulhu solo. I have done Cthulhu Confidential. And yes, but I've not run a group through some Call of Cthulhu. I probably will one day. I just haven't done yet. But this is us, everybody. We did a bit of a talk back. And I thought, sure, says Max Ryder, at least one of the agents would die in that last confrontation of my game, but you guys killed it so fast. Hey, one thing I will say is if you are a player who understands how deadly Call of Cthulhu is, you do not screw around. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think one of the things that's interesting is that in D&D, a lot of players get really sloppy. This is what I've noticed. They get really, really sloppy because they're used to their characters being quite invincible. So they get really sloppy. They just like rush in headlong into things without preparation. And sometimes then they die, but they get very sloppy. And if you take that sloppiness into a number of other systems that don't do that, you will just die immediately. So if you have players who are aware of the deadliness of it and decide not to be sloppy, then, you know, you can be okay. But you have to be really, you've got to think about it. Sithel says, yeah, I would say that the power level goes Scion, Delta Green, Call of Cthulhu. Scion is where you literally get to play one of the Eldritch Horrors. Yes. Okay, so thank you for being here. I want to say thank you for being here, hanging out, watching this one shot. Let me tell you what's next. So what's next is, tomorrow I'll be playing Hitman on my channel at noon, and we will see if I play the banjo. I don't know. I've been like picking around. We'll see. But I'm going to play some Hitman. We'll chat and murder people. But next week, Thursday, I will be playing Disco Elysium. We're in day 5, Simon. Simon, day 5. It's been over a year. And then, that's at 6 p.m. Eastern. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Next Friday will be episode 2 of The Gamblers, our Traveler Pirates of Drynix campaign, where they've gone off to try to rescue Val and Yes, I will do bits. Yep, day 5, Simon, day 5. Yep. And they're going to try to rescue Val, which will probably cause an interstellar incident in ways that'll be really bad diplomatically. So we will see what happens. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. And that's at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel. And then Saturday again, more Hitman. That's what I've got up. And so is there meant to be a weird vertical mark on? Yes, there is. It's the fold of the book. Ostros, it's the fold of the book, right? There's a, if you can notice, if you look at the, oh, I can't, if you look right here, oh, I wish I could put my finger on the other side, but like right there, you can see the seam of the book, right where the O for October is. And this is the seam of the book all the way up. Whoop. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. So that's all the stuff we're doing. But I've got to tell you, I am very much looking forward to, where am I? Hello. No. Where did you go? Stream elements. There we go. I'm looking forward to streaming more stuff. I've got to, we've got to, I don't know what we're going to do this summer. I have to move. Well, I don't have to, but I'm going to move to Seattle for my sabbatical, which means I'll be going dark for about a week or so, 1 to 2 weeks as I move across the country. It's like 6 days to drive across the country, and then I've got to set up wherever I'm going, and I'll be streaming again. But once we stream, we'll be in hiatus for the gamblers, and when we're in hiatus, I like to run things. So I'm hoping to run some Seasons of Death. I'm hoping to run, we'll see, I don't know yet what things I will run, but I'm hoping to run a bunch of cool stuff. I have to decide what books I'm going to take with me, but I'm looking forward to great stuff. And I've got some one-shots that may or may not happen between here and then, but there are one-shots on the docket that I'm excited for. Speaking of Alien RPG, the new edition will have I saw that the new edition has a solo mode, and I'm like, oh, this might mean I have to buy it. Oh. We'll probably, you know what I'm thinking? We'll probably play Crash Jones, because I try to do Crash Jones every other hiatus, so we'll probably do Crash Jones in the summer hiatus. We'll do Seasons of Death. We'll do other stuff. There's other stuff I gotta do. And we'll just see what we can... Oh, I'm hoping we can actually finish Sandman as well when our hiatus hits. There are some other things going on that I want to get done and out there and playing, but we'll do stuff before we get to Season 7. That is all of that. Now, let me read out the tips and bits that you have so kindly donated for our stream today, which I'm going to just go and give to the players of the Drynax game. We got, let's see. I am seeing, let me refresh my feed. Hello, feed, refresh the feed, refresh the feed. Okay, feed has been refreshed. Hello, feed. So we got a $20 tip from Rissa, who is not only our mod, but my GM for Call of Cthulhu, who likes to give us the worst horrors that you can imagine. Horrors that you cannot escape. Horrors that you can never come back from. I believe one of the first big horrors was one of the PC's girlfriends getting pregnant and then him having to marry her. And then there are parents, and there's a lot of like, better watch out. There are parents. And Prax is here for stuff, which is good, because Prax, we need to talk about these things. I can't talk now because I've got to get there, but we have to talk about stuff. And Rissa says, love the scenario. And it was so good, right? It was such a good scenario. So, thank you. And Joseph decided not to murder Grace and her unborn child all on his own, which I'm sure would have had no consequences. But that is us. I want to say thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for letting me sort of bust out my second camera and do my second. But now I know that I need to have a special light just to illuminate that better, which I will do. I had a good time making my very special overlays and getting things set up. So that's me. And thanks for the mug. Oh yeah, no. Parrots, yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, parrots. Um, I'm not going to mention out loud some of the horrors that my characters got coming up, but they've got some horrors coming up. But I'm not going to mention them right now, but they've got some. And so you can find me at troopersjp over on Bluesky and also YouTube. You can find me at Academic Foxhole on Patreon and Fourth Wall, where we have our merch shop. And all those, the Patreon goes to help pay for the casts because I really think it's important for me to get paid. And also, I'm hoping to commission some artwork. And the merch store is just cool merch. We'll be getting new merch coming in really soon. And I think we've got maybe 1 or 2 giveaways left of the previous stuff before we get the new stuff in. And I think that is everything that I want to say, besides thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow, and keep gaming. And I'll tell you what, I love a good deadly Call of Cthulhu for a convention one-shot, where we all go down in fire. Love it. It is good times. Good times. But you tend to play a different kind of character for that one. That said, let me just see if there's anybody here we can raid, because if there is anybody here we can raid, we should then do it. Let's see who's around. Who do we know? Oh, it looks like... You know what? There are people that we know who are friends of ours that we can raid, and I think we should. Miss Magitech is streaming right now, and I think we should raid her. They are playing Vampire the Masquerade, their finale. Let me just make sure that they're actually live before we raid. They are. So, let's, it is her finale, and let's give a raid. This is our raid command, so you can give them some love. They're fighting Methuselah. Oh, that'll work out really well. Have they read the books? Ooh. Let's go and give them luck fighting Methuselah. We'll put our raid on once our credits end. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow or next week. Until then, catch you on the flip side.